My name's Aidan Kearney,
known online as
Turtleboy, and is a senior editor for
TBDailyNews.com.
They call me
Turtleboy.
It's my preferred pronoun. Daddy.
What's up, Daddy?
Journalism Jesus. Timothy Kearney.
The one and only Turtleboy.
Turtleboy.
What's up, Slick?
The doctor is here.
This guy's a bad motherfucker.
That's right, the intro.
I've broken a lot of major stories. I've been doing it for about 11 years. I used to be a high school teacher.
Turtleboy has changed a lot over the years. I was once a blogger, but now I'm much more accurately known as an award-winning journalist, a satirist, and an activist. Boom!
They're screaming your name here.
You're the crowd daddy.
Crazy. People either love me or hate me.
Listen, Turtle, all right?
But either way, they're watching.
Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
Stop it. I'm never gonna stop. This fight's just getting started. Now let's get this party started. Yo, what's up, people? How's everyone doing? Good, good, excellent. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aidan Kearney. You can call me a variety of names if you'd like. Around these parts, they call me Uncle Turtleboy, Turtleboy. Dr. Turtleboy is my preferred pronoun because if 𝗀𝗏𝗺𝗀𝗆 is a doctor, then so am I. And I'm here at 8 o'clock. You know, a lot of people seem to like 8 o'clock. Maybe we'll do it 8 o'clock. I don't know. We'll talk about that. We'll see. I used to do it at 9 because my kids would be in bed by then, but now they stay up late. So what does it really matter? So maybe we'll see. I don't know. Either way, you can call me Timothy Kearney, Journalism Jesus. You can call me Daddy. I actually don't mind that at all. I will allow it. I won't mandate it because it's weird for some people, but it's fun and playful for others. So I don't care what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night at, I was going to say 9 sharp, but first of all, it's 8 and today's Wednesday. So that doesn't make any sense at all, but I don't care. Just smash the subscribe button. How many subscribers are we up to now? 163,267. It's almost 100 more we got from yesterday. And we got 2,600 people watching on a hump day. All right. So, you know, a couple hundred of you probably haven't smashed the subscribe button. I expect more. I remember the first time I ever did a Can't Cover Up story. I'm like, oh my God, we got up to 2,100 at one point. I'm like, holy shit. That's what we have in like the pregame now, the pre-chat, you know? So, you know, yeah, I mean, Joel's getting bad. Okay. I mean, he's now gone to Instagram and he's like leading a charge to get me canceled there at the Wilbur. And it's just not, he's like, the owner is Jewish. It's like, bro, you know, being Jewish doesn't mean you have to be a bitch, right? Like, just you're being a bitch. And that's actually anti-Semitic what you're doing. You're assuming that all Jewish people are bitches like you, right? It's just you, Joel. It's a you problem. Because tomorrow at 10 o'clock, the tickets go on sale at the Wilbur. A lot of people were asking today. I don't know how it works. I guess, I don't know. Some people got on. I don't know all the rules, but I guess it's open for the public tomorrow at 10 a.m. So go on there and get your tickets, man. A lot of people are excited about this show. I'm really excited about it. I can't wait. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be dope. Again, September 12th at the Wilbur, 7:30, downtown Boston. Be there or be square. It's going to be awesome. I can't friggin' wait. Also, Ratchet Madness. I just posted, guys, the latest results for Ratchet Madness, as you guys have seen. I mean, some of these were pretty, some of these were close. Let's see. We had, that Jennifer McCabe got 92% of the vote. That was a blowout. That's actually, like, I think she got like 98% in the first round last year. It's actually low for her. Liz Proctor got 80%. That was pretty high. Jill Daniels is gone. Okay, I already hate you guys. Jill Daniels is gone. Twisted Tragedy's gone. I'm done with you guys. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, guys? You guys let me down. My favorite Ratchets are already gone. Jill Daniels is out. She got 46% of the vote to John Fanning. Okay. Joseph Paul's gone. He only got 37% of the vote to Jessica Hyde, 63. So Jessica Hyde advances. Colin Albert defeats Robert Cosgrove, 60-40. We'll talk about that in the show tonight. Twisted Tragedy's got 48% of the vote. I mean, guys, she lives in a migrant hotel, and she complains that, I mean, she's so much more ratchet than Adam Lally. I wish I could use but the people have spoken. I feel like I should be able to just have one person per round where I just get to switch it, a review, but no. So Twisted Tragedies is out. Plevin's out. He lost to Wendy Murphy, 60-40. And Michael Morrissey defeats Coco, 87-13. So we got Jen McCabe versus Liz Proctor next round. That could be a good one. John Fanning against Jessica Hyde. The winner will get the winner of that. Colin Albert against Lally. Wendy Murphy against Michael Morrissey. So, we'll see. So now we on to the next region here. We got, let's see, 𝗚్rusty versus John Connolly. Oh, all right. I'll do my votes right now. I'm voting 𝗚్rusty. Okay, definitely. Ooh, it is a tough one. That's a tough one. The 8-9s are always tough. We got Tara Kerrigan versus Kevin Albert. I got to go Tara Kerrigan because I love her as a ratchet. She's so ratchet. Kelly Deaver versus Grant. I think Grant's faking it, so I'm going Deaver. She's a natural ratchet. Kerry Roberts against the Sullivan Sluts. Oof. Tough one. Tough one. You know what, though? I'm gonna go with the 12. I'm going Sullivan Sluts. I'm voting for them. Fuck you if you don't like it. 𝗵𝗏𝗆 against Sam Nagel. Whew. Yeah, obviously you got to go 𝗵𝗏𝗆 on that one. How can you not? Then we got 𝗪𝗏𝗀 versus Nick Garino. That's a doozy as well. People forget how ratchet Nick Garino was in the first trial. But I'm going to go 𝗪𝗀 because he painted himself blue. Oh, dude. DePietro, I feel like I should have seeded him higher. Julie Albert did say 𝗵𝗏𝗆 twice. And that's what she'll always be remembered for. But listen, Turtle, I got to go DePietro. And then Higgy versus 𝗕ecie. This isn't really, this is probably going to be a landslide. Go Higgy. Got to be Higgy Bear. So that's what I say. That's what I say. All right. So get your votes in, guys, if you haven't already. It's fun. That was a record amount of votes we had for the first round. Like over 7,000 people voted in some of those. So it'll be good. Anyway, so yeah, let's just get right. I'm doing this special Wednesday Hump Day Live to talk about what happened in court today because I have a lot of thoughts. So why don't I just replay, what happened? Right? Why don't we just do that? Okay. All right, let me find it. All right. I think, yeah. Oh, shit. I'm like going on the Young Jerks to show my thing. And the Young Jerks is talking about my thing. So I didn't mean to go live at the same time as him, but I really wanted to talk about this. So, I got a lot of thoughts. Peeps. So let's play it. You thought the judge was so different today. How come? What was different about him? Let's hear your thoughts.
Would you see the question on session? Turn off your cell phone, please. For the record, before the court, numbers 4, 5, and 9, come for proceeding. Kearney, 23 CR 313, 24 CR 43, and 25 CR 88. Kearney is present. If the parties could please identify themselves for the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗧𝘂𝗏 for the Commonwealth.
Good afternoon. Timothy Kearney for the defendant, I bet.
Timothy Kearney for the defense.
How are you? I'm Mr. Kearney.
This is my client, Aidan Kearney.
Good afternoon. All right. What do we have today?
Well, we have a bit of an agenda here for you, Your Honor.
Go right ahead.
Can I go through?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Your Honor, we're back here on discovery issues that have been going on.
Oh, by the way, if anybody wants to have their messages read out loud to the class, I forgot to mention I'm going to do turtle chats after we watch this. Okay. So if you want to support what I'm doing, stick it to the man, because you see what we're up against here, bro. This ain't going nowhere. And this is my life. So if you guys want to help out, if you want to fight back against the man, fight for free speech, fight, help your boy out here, your First Amendment warrior, you can click at the link at the top for turtle chat, pay whatever you want, right? And I'll read your messages out loud to the class, or you can cash at me at $UncleTurtleboy. Yeah. And 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is on vacation this week. We knew he was on vacation. He was on the Zoom. Then he got kicked out of the Zoom. My lawyer got kicked out of the Zoom. So we'll see. And yeah, the judge he laughed a lot today. But at the same time, I mean, it's funny that he's laughing at this shit, but it's also like, yo, this is no laughing matter. This is like serious. It's supposed to be serious. And it's like, if he's laughing at it, I certainly hope he gets rid of these. I certainly hope we start getting some rulings in our favor, because it's one thing to laugh at it, but like, if it's laughing, like, let's get the fuck out of here then. Let's get this shit out of here. This is dumb. Let's get this out of this courtroom. All right.
As you know, the automatic discovery certainly is due.
And there was, by the way, a camera in the courtroom, so we'll probably get that stream later. Usually it gets sent to me, but yeah, it has not been sent to me yet that I've seen. Okay. Okay. All right, let's put this.
Before the pretrial conference, which was like over a year ago. And we've been going back and forth with this. And if you just peruse the docket, I'm not going to go through it because I know these kind of tedious discovery hearings are awful for everybody. But if you peruse the docket, you'll see all kinds of motions to compel. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Kearney. I left my notes. I took some notes.
No, that's okay. I appreciate you taking.
Yeah, and then I left it in the lobby. So
we're willing to wait for you.
No, Mr. Summers went to get it. 6 weeks here. Mr. Brito, go right ahead.
Thank you. So if you peruse the docket, Judge, you'll see all kinds of motions to compel, and it's just not happening. It's just not happening. So putting the issue of, whether it's an intentional thing or a, just not getting it right kind of thing, nonetheless, we need these items. They're exculpatory. If this was just regular discovery, I might ask for a ruling that the Commonwealth may not use certain items they haven't given us, but this is exculpatory stuff that we need. One of the most important highlights, Your Honor.
So I went through it. These are what my notes are. You want access to different items in a form that you can see on your computer, right?
Right. We can't open what we got.
You want something about somebody that's allegedly a government agent, right?
Yes.
Crusty.
You want digital copies of some documents. You want videos that were taken by the Commonwealth of the rolling rally.
Yeah.
Party list, right?
We still don't have those.
All right. Is there anything else?
Yes, Your Honor. There's a whole host of items.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the first thing, Judge, is that I don't know if you heard, but it was all over the media, but we got 4,000 blank pages after we were here last time when the Commonwealth said, oh, we gave them 5,000 pages. 4,000 were blank. And
thanks, Summer.
Now the Commonwealth wants us to give back the thumb drive that has some things on it minus the 4,000 pages. So last time we gave something back, we never saw it again, and they still don't want to give it to us. And that's the 𝗬𝗏𝗃 extraction, the redacted extraction.
There's another motion, a pro se motion on that.
So this is, okay, there's another motion on that, a pro se motion. So there was just so much to talk about. So one of the issues is the fake victim's phone. So the fake victim, we got her phone in April of 2024. April 24th, I think 2024. Mello and 𝗃𝗏𝗃 just gave us her whole phone. We go through it. It is a cornucopia of exculpatory evidence showing that she conspired with Leah Genduso, with Krusty Panties, with Julie Crecilio, with Mello, Tully, like within minutes of me rejecting her and not coming over, refusing to go over her house on December 9th. And by the way, I'd like to point out, I have recordings from that conversation on December 9th, right, that have not been made public, that we will save for trial. And these, like, when you hear, like, you have not heard anything yet until you hear the December 9th recordings. And I know she's watching right now, and I know she's going to bang out an email to Cosgrove. He's talking about me again. He's talking about the recordings. So she knows we've seen that she sent these, she already knows we have these recordings. So, you know, but I was in a one party consent state. I also told her I was recording, so she knew I was recording. They tried to indict me on those. They did not. The jury returned, apparently did not indict me on them. I don't know. They weren't presented to the grand jury, but either way, when you hear these messages, man, and the things that she says to me about, like, I'm going to drop that fetal alcohol syndrome baby off of your house and party my fucking night off, my life away. You can fuck yourself. I am going to be your biggest fucking regret. And you are going to ask yourself, why didn't I just come over her fucking house for a few nights? Because I'm a selfish cunt. Remember this, Aidan. Remember this. I will fucking destroy you. Like, this is the Commonwealth's victim. We have all that. We got all that. December 9th. So I don't go to her house on December 9th, and she tells me it's going to be the biggest mistake of my life, and she immediately starts contacting my enemies. And they they turn her, and I'm telling you, like when you hear the anger in her voice when she says it, it is scary. Like fucking scary, these recordings. Okay. If you think that recording that I have that I got indicted for on Christmas Eve is bad, wait till you hear the December 9th calls. And it shows intent. Exactly. It shows that she literally says, I'm going to fucking destroy you if you don't come to my house tonight. And I thought she was full of shit. I'm like, what the fuck are you going to do, bitch? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I thought in my head. I'm like, yeah, I'm like laughing in my head. I did a show that night. I didn't give a shit. I'm like laughing about it. Oh yeah. What are you going to do? You ratchet fucking welfare mom. What the fuck are you going to do? And as it turns out, she was serious. And what she meant by that was she was going to contact immediately everybody who wanted to hurt me and drum up, as we said in the Better letters, what she calls bogus witness intimidation charges. Her words, not mine. We're going to put bogus witness intimidation charges on him. And that we are, and she watches everything I say. And she timestamps them, and she emails Cosgrove everything. She's going to do it tonight. She's going to be like, he said this time, this proves that he was talking about this, and it's like we got everything. We got 4,727 pages of Brian Tully's emails that I was up till 4 a.m. reading last night. I don't even know how many of those pages are emails from her, but there's a lot. Okay. And so just cannot move on with her life. Cannot let it go. The 3 months that she got to see me once a week was the greatest thing that ever happened to her ever. Like, she's never had anyone like me before. Like, she's never had anyone that like owns property and like doesn't have a history of fentanyl addiction or anything like that. It was different. Like, she didn't know what to do with someone like me, but she couldn't handle it. Like, it was too nice for her, right? She couldn't handle it, right? But anyway, I digress. So she reaches out to all the assholes, and they start coming up with a plan to get me strung up on witness intimidation charges. Tully's like, yeah, sure, let's go. You know, they put it all in place. Yeah. And they know that she's still talking to me. So she messages me a couple weeks later to get me over her apartment with a fake grand jury summons and a fake baby and a fake abortion in a real driveway. And it's like, whew. But anyway, so where was I on this? So yeah, so we get her phone, and it's like, holy shit, this is crazy. And then Mello's like, we want it back. You have to give us back the phone. That was an accident. And Brado's like, get the fuck out of here. We're not giving you gave us this phone. We're not giving it back. You That's not our fault. We didn't redact it. Not my problem. And we agreed not to use any information on the phone that was like sensitive about her kids and blah, 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 blah. Well, there's some discrepancy about that. Like on my show, I've talked about like some things in the phone extraction that I believe are germane to the case and she believes are not germane. No, we don't have a right to, like, for instance, like anything in her phone where she's talking about. So one of the things that she guys manipulated me with was she told me when she was pregnant. So she was never pregnant. And she told me when she was pregnant that she's like, oh, I can't. She's like, I can't have an abortion. I'm pro-life and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever you choose to do, I'm here to support. Like, I'm not going to force you into anything or pressure you to anything that you don't want to do. You know what I mean? And I'm like, so she like, but that was part of the manipulation tactic because, you know, if abortion is not happening, right, then you better prepare to be a parent. So, see what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, well. And so that also fucked with my head because I'm like, well, fuck, you know, my life's about to blow up. I have 2 kids of my own. I'm like, what am I going to do? This woman lives in Medfield. I can't just have a fucking love child out there. I'm not going to be that guy that like doesn't take care of the fucking baby. You know what I mean? And I also can't leave with her because she's a psychopath and she already has 1 kid living in the fucking closet. So I have to do the single dad thing. If this, like, I'm like all fucked up in the head from this. Like, it really fucked with my head thinking that she was pregnant. And it like, couple that with all of my charges and everything. Like, I was not doing very well. Okay. Let's just put it that way. I was not doing very well. And I actually, like, she drove me to the point where I was just like, I was having bad thoughts, you know? And, I sent a video to her of that. And because she wouldn't answer my calls. And I'm like all fucked up from this. And she has since played that video and sent it around to all of them. And it's been, you know, kind of thrown against me and, oh, look at him, you laugh, you know, all that shit. So anyway, but that's what I mean. So like what I'm saying here is if there was information in her phone, for instance, that talked about previous abortions that she's got, right? She would argue, well, that's not germane to any of this, whatever. And I would argue that that's perfectly germane because if you've had an abortion before and now you're saying that you're pregnant and you don't believe in abortion, then you're manipulating me, right? You're lying to me. So that's what see what I'm saying? And so like, also like if there's old, like for instance, if she took a picture at an abortion clinic in 2021, right? And then sent me that picture today, but had the metadata on it from 2021 to make me think that she was at an abortion clinic on November 27th, 2028, when actually that picture was taken on December 4th, 2021 at an abortion clinic, right? Then that would be germane to everything, right? And so there's just a little bit, disagreement, I guess, about what, so because the protective order in place said they can use stuff that's relevant, but they can't use her personal stuff. Like she keeps bringing up, and Grant keeps bringing this up for her, like there's pictures of her giving birth. No, there's not. There's no pictures of her giving birth. First of all, it's fucking weird if there is. Who the fuck there's no dad in the room. We know that. So like who took the picture? And no, there's not. And that's just in a way to like be like, oh, my babies, he's attacking my babies, and blah, blah, blah. So Judge Corrupt fell for it. And Judge Corrupt not only put a protective order in place, he ordered us to give the phone back and destroy all copies. But he also said that the Commonwealth had to give us a redacted version of her phone that got rid of all the stuff that's not germane, right? Fine. That's perfectly fine. We just want stuff that can be used. We want all of the stuff where they plan to put me in jail. Like, that's what we're interested in. I don't care about the personal stuff. No interest in smearing her in that regard. Okay. I'm just interested in exonerating myself. So, we do that, and we destroy, we give back the hard drive and we destroy all our copies or whatever. And they were supposed to give us a redacted version of her phone, and we've never got it. We've just never got it. It's never been given to us, and we've asked for it. And now Cosgrove is saying we don't have to give it back. He claims, I sent it to you in July and you never came and got it. First of all, he didn't. And second of all, so why can't we get it then? So it's like, this is the insanity of this. He's like, nope. He's in his art. You'll see his argument.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead, Judge. No, go ahead. So it's been like 9 months and we don't have the redacted extraction that the Commonwealth promised me. I look back at my emails on July 9th, 2024, saying it would be ready for pickup, and it just never happened. So now they are apparently doing a 180 in their filing saying, go get it from your friends, Mr. Kearney. And I don't really understand that. I don't think it's a serious response. And the Commonwealth owes us that.
So his response was that I've made statements before that I've sent out her redaction, this is the insanity of this. So I've made statements on my show before where I say that I have sent out Lindsay Gattani's entire phone extraction to multiple people, right? When I first got it, because when I first got it, there was no protective order. I could send it to whoever I want. So my point was that you're having me give back the phone extraction, but multiple other people have it and can post it whenever they want because the order's not on them, it's on me. So it seems like a waste of time, but it seems like an ineffective order, I guess, but that's fine. We'll abide by it. That's all I was saying. And yeah. And so what Cosgrove said is that since you've sent this phone extraction out to other people before, I don't need to give you the redacted version of the phone. You can just get it from your friends. It's like, we were told to destroy it. You want us to get the unredacted versions back but we can't use it because we were told to destroy it. It's just like, you got a popsicle headache thinking about it. Like, what are they doing?
Discovery, the redacted discovery. And I ask that you order that forthwith.
Okay, let me hear from Mr. Cosgrove on that.
Oh God, when he talks, dude.
All right. Many of these issues, Your Honor, I addressed in my filing. I have been working diligently to get Mr. 𝗵𝗿𝗄 the discovery, despite some obstacles. If Your Honor would be kind enough to go through the list that you just went through with Mr. 𝗵𝗿𝗄 one by one, I will respond to them individually.
Yeah. Commonwealth video of the rolling rally?
All right. The Commonwealth has provided at least 2 copies of the video to the rolling rally, one of them in the format specifically requested by Mr. Kearney. The last time it was provided was, I think, about 6 months ago. The first I heard that he was having a problem with it was the motion that he filed on the last date. As I indicated to Your Honor in my filing, I had notified Mr. 𝗵𝗿𝗄 of dates that he could come over to the office, and we would attempt to show him the video and resolve that, which was his suggestion in the first place.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading
and I got no response.
Mr. 𝗵𝗿𝗄, when are you going to go over to see Mr. Cosgrove and look at this?
So, Judge, that's a separate category, okay? I don't think,
Let me start with this. When are you going to go over to Mr.
Yeah, we'll be happy to go over it. We're not concerned with that aspect of it. We're concerned with the stuff that they were supposed to give us. We can put that aside, the stuff that they tried to give us,
right,
and it didn't work. It's not the right format. Nobody can open it short of Bill Gates. And, that stuff, I'm confident with our team, there's some really good computer people on our team that can figure it out. And we've said to them, just do this, and they haven't done that. So if we have to go
Mr. Cosgrove said to you, come to the office,
yeah,
we'll do it.
Yeah, we will. And that's not what this hearing is about as far as we're concerned. There's a ton of other stuff that doesn't require that.
That's fine. Go ahead, Mr. Cosgrove.
And the second item, Your Honor?
Let's see. I have.
So he wants us to go to his office. So they gave us like video of the rolling rally that it isn't formatted, and we can't play it. Like the format that they gave it in, it just doesn't work, because of course it doesn't fucking work. I mean, just put it on a goddamn unlisted YouTube video. Like, do something. Like, figure this shit out. So now they can't figure it out. So we're supposed to come to the DA's office and watch it on their computer and like take a video of it. That's what he wants us to do.
The Brady list.
I had indicated to Mr. Bradel that I would provide that information 30 days before evidentiary hearing or trial, whichever came first.
I think, and then you said you'd give it to him by September 3rd in your memo?
Yes.
I'll order that. I'll order you to give it to him by September 3rd. So that takes care of that.
Yeah, and then when he doesn't, like that's the real question. And then when he doesn't, like I thought we were supposed to get this all today, right? And what happens when there's an excuse again on September 3rd? Because there will be. There's always an excuse with these people, always. And it's just there's no consequences. At what point does the judge say, you know what? You had your fucking chance to prosecute this guy. I gave you a lot of rope. Okay. You're wasting the court's time. This is not a serious prosecution. This is supposed to be a serious court of law. Inside this courtroom are multiple, like I saw defendants today coming in shackles, multiple defendants, and you know, they're brought in there on serious charges, on violence and drugs and you name it. And then there's Turtleboy. And it's just like, what are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing here?
What's next, Your Honor?
Okay. Let's see. We have, I think we get to then the, supposedly somebody working as a government agent.
Crusty.
Oh, that would be Catherine Peter, I believe.
Yeah. All right. So tell me about that.
Well, Catherine Peter is relevant basically to the 𝗫𝗏𝗃𝗍𝗃 cases.
No,
she is
it's a lie.
Former employee, as I understand it, of.
So they said that relevant to the 𝗫𝗏𝗃𝗍𝗃 cases. Yeah, and the 𝗵𝗏𝗺𝗺 ones. She's the driving force behind the 𝗵𝗏𝗺𝗺 ones. She's behind all of the charges, but certainly the 𝗵𝗏𝗺𝗺 ones as well.
Mr. Kearney, he and she had a falling out over issues that don't concern the Commonwealth long before this case was originated, and basically exchanged negative posts about one another. From time to time, she has emailed, usually Lieutenant Tully.
No, I'm not interested in the specifics, but more so, I think in your filing that I have in front of me, you have replaced the defective thumb drive. Am I correct?
Yes.
Mr. Bradel, do you have that?
We do, Judge.
All right. So then that's taken care of.
Yes.
All right, great. All right, that's good. Provided.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then we go to the next one, which is a digital copy of all communications from District Attorney 𝗵𝗺cy to civilian witnesses. And it gives a list of names. And then it says that from Mr. Bradel's point of view, that the Commonwealth hasn't provided complete discovery. Go right ahead, Mr. 𝗪𝗏𝗺.
Well, I don't know what he thinks he's missing. Number one. Number two, what the Commonwealth is obligated to do under the rule is to provide statements of witnesses.
Yep.
It's not obligated to provide the electronic information which may accompany it.
Oh my
God. When it
God.
turns over a photograph, it's required to provide who the photographer was, that sort of.
So he does not want to hand the metadata over. So for instance, we have screenshots of text messages, right? We have one screenshot of a Michael Proctor text message from September 3rd, 2023. In that group chat we see at the top of it, it says MM for Michael Morrissey, YB, BT. Those are the three that you can read. Then there's three smaller ones. And I bet you one of them says JF and probably like, who the fuck knows who the other two are? We don't know. We also don't see Michael Proctor says something in that message that Tim Bradel mentions in court today, which I can't talk about because it's fucking impounded. So I can't talk about it for some reason. Even though it was talked about in open court today, I can't talk about it because this makes a shit ton of sense. And it's just a screenshot of Michael Proctor. And what Michael Proctor said about what he calls me asshole, that's his nickname for me. And so what he says about asshole, he says he gets really mad about asshole. And he says something. And he suggests that they do something. And, you know, we don't see their response. We don't see, like, what does Brian Tully say to that? You know, what does, Michael Morrissey say to that? What do they say? We don't know. But a month later, I'm arrested. And so we need the metadata on that. We don't want a screenshot of a text message. We want the Cellbrite report. We want it like it appears in freaking with the green and the blue, how it appears on the Karen Reed trial. We want it like that. That's how you get messages. You don't get a fucking screenshot of your phone like with Colin Albert and Ellie McCabe. That's not legitimate. We want metadata. That's what we mean by that. Cosgrove is 1,050 years old. He doesn't understand what metadata even is. He has no fucking clue what it means. And so he's like, we're not giving that over because I don't know what it means.
Information. I think this information, I have an inquiry in, would be difficult to access and provide. The Commonwealth has spent literally days assembling statements of witnesses, which are voluminous because it includes all kinds of emails that the witnesses have made to the district attorney's office. And those have been harvested by means of an electronic system called 𝗵𝗲 by using term searches. And then people have gone through them and screened them, and I have screened them for compliance with Rule 14, generously construed, and those have been turned over. I can conceive of certain situations where electronic information might be exculpatory, and I think that's an issue that can be raised on a email by email basis. For example, if you had an email from somebody and their location at the time that they sent the email undid or provided an alibi or something like that, that would be exculpatory. It should be turned over. But in the ordinary course, all this does is provide information to the defendant that is irrelevant and is not required to be turned over. I think these are issues that can wait.
Like, why does he get to decide what's relevant? No, it's very relevant. We want to make sure. The whole point of the metadata is to make sure that all of the information is there. That's what we want. Because screenshots lie, but metadata does not. See what I'm saying, 𝗁𝗂𝗄𝗃?
For a determination as we approach trial as to whether something is material and admissible.
Okay, Mr. Bradel, can you comment on that?
Yes, Judge. So this is a metadata issue?
This is the individual, well, it's a digital copy of all communications from District Attorney 𝗺cie to civilian witnesses.
Oh, yes. Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
And it lists a whole slew of people.
Sure. So, Judge, the Commonwealth in this case has been going to the mattresses, so to speak, to keep this stuff from us. And meanwhile, the employer of the special prosecutor has released a FOIA of these items, which, just to move ahead for a sec, the fact that they released all this stuff pretty much obliterates this Commonwealth's impoundment privacy argument. But while we've been going back and forth with all this court time with keeping things secret from the
so they literally released 4,000 pages of Michael Morrissey emails. We've had we had a bunch of those in our discovery dumps. They gave some of those to us, but not all of them. And also, it's like, why do we get some but not all? Like, we got the Mariano email. I thought that was a pretty interesting, juicy one, asking for $1 million. Like, that's kind of a good one. And so NBC Boston can run a story on that, but I can't. How does this make any sense? Just impound them. There's absolutely no reason that any of this should be private. None whatsoever. You guys should see the mountain of shit that I'm sitting on.
The district attorney's office released 4,000 text messages from Trooper 𝗁𝗁𝗄𝗃 as a FOIA request to the general public, while we, as defendants in a criminal matter with constitutional rights attached, have got nothing. So it's out there, this FOIA request from the employer of the special prosecutor, but not from this special prosecutor. So in terms of the integrity of the stuff, we need the special prosecutor here to give us the items in the context of this case.
The 4,000 text messages, were they related to this case, Mr. Bradel, or related to other cases?
Well, it's relevant to the Reed matter, to our matter, it's all the same alleged victims. It's actually emailed, not text messages. Okay. But it's 4,000 pages of stuff that we've been wrangling back and forth about. Meanwhile, the district attorney's office releases them in a FOIA like a week ago. That's been bandied all over media while we've been trying to get this stuff for a long time.
Okay.
So yes, it's a good thing that we're getting it. Yeah. But we need the government in this case to give us what they are contending is that stuff.
Let me just go to Mr. Cosgrove for a minute. Mr. Cosgrove, were you aware of that?
The short answer is no.
Yeah.
No, I'm not aware of that. Oh, yeah.
I guess part of the price of having an independent special prosecutor, Your Honor, I don't work out of the office. I haven't been to the office within the last
been to the office.
2 weeks, I think. So I was not aware of that. I was aware that 12 news organizations had filed FOIA requests for information in the Karen Reed case, but I wasn't aware of what particularly had been released. I'll look into that. Okay. I will say that when Mr. Bradel says he's received nothing, that is flatly untrue.
I mean, like, how is that our problem? Why is that my problem that this fucking triple dip motherfucker can't get his ass down to the DA's office? And that's my problem. Like, so I just have to keep coming back. I got to suffer because of that. Why is that my problem? That's a you problem. Again, they're choosing to bring this case forward. They don't have to. They are not. I am not some dangerous criminal where like, well, we can't let this one go. I'm not like Brian Walsh. Like, you can just let this go. Everything will be fine if you let this go. The Kara retrial is over. This is dumb. It's stupid. Just let it go.
I agree, Judge. We got about 200 and something pages out of what was supposed to be 5,000.
So I remember the last time we were here, Mr. Cosgrove, you had said that there were 5,000 pages or some large amount of pages. I'm not going to say 5. It might have been 3.
It was about 5,000. I think it was 4,700 and something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was some of that blank or?
Yep.
Well, the only information I have with respect to that was a letter from Mr. Bedrow that arrived 5 days later complaining that the bulk of those pages were blank. I do not know why they would be. I haven't been able to figure out why they would be. As a result of that letter, I went back to the DA's office and sat down with one of their electronics people and had them make an entire new copy off of my laptop. And I actually added a little material that had come in since, provided by one of the prosecutors in the Reed case. But the bulk of it was the same 5,000 pages. I then went through that personally with the electronics person sitting by my side and ensured that each and every page was reproduced on the copy that I sent to the defendant. So
have you sent that to Mr. Bradle or Mr. Bedrow?
I've sent it to Mr. Bradle, and I'm informed that he's got it, so I'm not quite sure why we're still talking about it.
Got it yesterday, Judge.
All right.
We're not sure why we're still talking about it because last time you gave us 4,000 blank pages, and that needs to be discussed. I'm sorry. And yes, you did last night at 10 p.m. on the live show. We got you found the 4,000 pages. The blank pages were no longer blank. So you gave us 4,000 blank pages. Then you went down to the department. Instead of being like, what the fuck? Why are these blank? You just did it again. And then you send them, you're like, okay, cool. What's the big deal? The big deal is you fucking lied to us a month ago. You just lied. You said you're giving us 5,000 pages. You didn't. And why are we chasing you down for this? I mean, this is a fucking joke. This is a fucking joke. It needs to end.
Through it.
Yeah, no, sure.
It supports all sorts of other things that we're here for as well.
All right. But you did get it. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Then the next thing would be, the next thing I see, Mr. Bradle didn't think this was much of an issue, was the video of the Commonwealth surveillance on the rolling rally. Has that been?
I think we addressed that, Your Honor.
We can go to the office, and I'm sure that.
Yeah, okay, so that's fine. So that takes care of that. That's
Thank
good. And then,
Judge, before we move on, I don't want you to go too far off of this. So I know it's tempting to think that these 4,000 blank pages is the same thing as the 4,000 FOIA. They're different. So the first thumb drive thing with the 4,000 blank pages has been remedied, okay? But the FOIA thing that should have been given to us has never been given to us. But they're responding to FOIAs about it to everybody but Mr. Kearney. So
I get that. But Mr. Cosgrove says he's going to look into that, and I'm sure he'll give it to you.
Okay, so I just didn't want you to think that was the same.
No, I
4,000.
didn't.
Different.
Yeah, I didn't think that.
Okay.
All right, I didn't think that. All right. Then I think it's just am I correct, Mr. Bradle? Is that the list, or are there more?
There is more, Judge.
Yeah, tell me the rest.
All right, sure. So within the thumb drive, the thumb drive that was just remedied and given to us, there's all sorts of attachments, and we have a disagreement about this. There's all sorts of attachments from Ms. Peter to the state trooper team and Mr. Mello, I believe it was. I don't think Mr. Cosgrove was on the case then, where Ms. Peter is repeatedly providing attachments of things to the state troopers, and she's literally working on videos for the state troopers that were exhibits in the grand jury.
Let me just hold on for a second.
All right, so let's stop there. So on November 1st, so 𝗀𝗏 is constantly emailing these people, texting them. There's so many, okay? And, you know, so on November 1st, she writes him an email. I don't even know if I'm allowed to read this email because I don't know what's public, what I'm not allowed to talk about. It's fucking insane that I can't even do this, that I can't even discuss what's happening in my own prosecution. It's insane. But it's November 1st, 2023. She sends them a link to video files. Okay? And offers to clip them down. The quotes. And so she sends a link to the video files. So we click on the link to the video files and let's see what it says. This is what happens when we click on that link. This is what we get. That's it. Sorry, the file you requested has been deleted. So it's just gone. So that they gave us messages, emails from 𝗀𝗏 where she sends them videos from my show that she herself admits is cut down and edited by her. She gets the freedom to do this because we know they're not watching my fucking show. Brian Tully is not watching 3 hours of my fucking show. 𝗪𝗏 says in emails to them that she has a whole team of people that curate and download every one of my shows and watch it. Like, she is fucking obsessed. She has never, ever, ever missed a single thing I've ever said, ever. And she never will. I own her life. When she wakes up every fucking day, it's just like, well, what am I going to do today? I'm going to do whatever Aidan's doing. I'm doing the opposite. I'm downloading what he says. I'm going to manipulate. I'm going to expose what he says. I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring up this clip. It's like, this is all she does all day. It's all she does. And so she sends them these videos and we're like, okay, cool. Let's see the videos she sent them, because let's suppose the videos that she sends are edited or manipulated, and that those videos are then played to the grand jury. Well, then we've got a paper trail here, right? Where they're like, okay, 𝗪𝗏 manipulates the videos, changes the context of what I'm saying, makes it sound more devious and dangerous than it actually is, sends them to Tully and Mello, who then present these videos to the grand jury. Then we've got a full line. Here's how it started. Here's what she did. The whole thing. And then we get this whole thing dismissed. It's gone. But the videos are gone. The videos that she sent Tully and Mello are deleted. She destroyed the evidence. Only she can delete these videos. She deleted them. They're gone. She destroyed evidence. It's gone. And so we're like, what the fuck? You know, they literally are destroying evidence. It says right there, deleted. It's her file. She sent it. She's the only one who can delete that. They are deleting evidence. They are destroying evidence in my case. It's outrageous.
Mr. 𝗺𝗏, is that part of the 5,000 pages?
Yes.
All right, so then there you go. You got it, at least.
I wish I could say we did have it.
Yeah.
If you hit the attachment, you get that message saying nothing's there. I printed out a few of them, but I'm sure you can just take my word for it, Judge. It says no attachment, nothing found, et cetera, et cetera. They don't come up.
So that's a technical issue. I'm sure you can figure that out.
So I think it's worse. I think it's actually locked.
It's not a, it's not.
Yes. All right. I'll see you shortly. Thank you very much. See you in a minute. Thanks. Bye.
Who's that fucking idiot who didn't mute his mic too?
Hi.
So, Your Honor, it's actually...
When does this Zoom?
Yeah, it's actually a lost evidence issue, Your Honor. It's not a, oh, gee, we can't open it issue. It's gone. I think they lost the evidence. And for whatever reason, the attachment has been taken away on the other end, okay? So this is a real bit of prejudice and a distinct bit of harm to the defense that Ms. Peter, who is a government agent, who's provided, and we'll get to this.
Let me just ask Mr. 𝗺𝗏 before you go into all that.
Sure.
Mr. 𝗺𝗏, to the best of your knowledge, has that been turned over to Mr. Brado and Mr. Benero?
Has what been turned over?
Has any of the attachments that Mr. Brado was just referred to?
Depending on what the attachment is, some of the attachments are visible simply by clicking on it. Others that specifically Mr. Benero has inquired about, to the extent that I can resurrect them, I have sent them along to him and will continue to do that. I haven't worked my way entirely through his letter. But what happened, Your Honor, is this. Lieutenant Tully, who was the recipient of most of these, has the practice of not clicking on unsolicited links that are sent to him on email, so he doesn't access them. Now, if someone is sending him a reference to something that is online,
Wait.
he may check with that person and ask the person, where can I find it online? And then,
Like, what? That's a lie. He's saying that when 𝗪𝗏 sends Brian Tully videos, he doesn't watch them. He doesn't press play. Instead, he's like, yo, tell me the exact episode, and then I'll go watch the whole thing myself, so I'm not biased by the fact that you've clearly edited these videos. No, who believes that? That's a lie. If that was the truth, why can't Tully just watch the videos himself? What does he need 𝗪𝗏 to send him anything for?
he will go himself and look for it online. For example, Mr. Kearney's YouTube presentations that were introduced to the grand jury. All of those were things that Lieutenant Tully found himself online. He may have been pointed to them by Ms. Peter. He may have been pointed to them by one of the alleged victims who complained about them. He may have been pointed to them by multiple sources. But he never clicked on whatever it was that was sent, in part because he's working off a computer system, an office computer system, and there's caution about infecting it with unsolicited links. So these were never accessed, in effect, by the Commonwealth. If the links are now dead, we've never seen them. The links are dead presumably because whoever sent them took them off the internet. So,
whoever sent them?
This would be some text from somebody with a link to a video or something else. And so you'd have the text, but not what the attachment is?
You'd have the text, you'd have a link to a video.
I get it, okay.
You click on the link now and nothing happens. Whether if Lieutenant Tully had clicked on the link 6 months or a year or 18 months, it would have taken him somewhere. Probably would, but he didn't.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Mr. Bradle.
A couple of things, Your
Go
Honor.
ahead.
A bit of a red herring to kind of suggest that, some crazy person from the internet is sending me something and I don't want to look at it. That's not this. This is a government agent, Catherine Peter, sending them stuff that she's working with them. And you know, you mentioned an evidentiary hearing the other day, Judge. I think we should have an evidentiary hearing on this discovery stuff. Let's bring in Mrs. Peter and let's find this stuff because this is important stuff, and I'll tell you why in a second. But this is
exactly, and that's what we're going for next: an evidentiary hearing, and we're gonna get one. We want Mello, Tully, and Krusty on the stand, and maybe others, maybe the fake victim too, but definitely those three: Mello, Tully, Krusty, because they're all pointing at the other person right now, aren't they? Who manipulated these videos? We haven't even gotten to the fake names yet. Who gave them the fake names? It wasn't me. It was, oh yeah, I didn't do it. Let's get them all on the stand. Who sent these videos? What were the videos that were sent? Let's see them. Get them on the stand. Let's do this. Like you're all pointing the finger at other people and be like, I don't know. No, let's get in a room and fuck. Okay. That's what we need to do. All right. Get all these people in a room. Get it all settled, get naked and fuck. Well, Krusty can keep her clothes on, but everybody else, let's fuck. Let's do this. Let's get this shit over with. This is out of control. And enough of this shit. Enough of this foreplay. Let's fuck.
This is some unknown person. This is someone who repeatedly emails the state police and Mr. Mello, so in other words, and the government and the prosecution and the Commonwealth, and is actively assisting the Commonwealth, providing links to certain things. So they're gone. And so let me just jump ahead. One of the things that's missing is Ms. Peter, and we know this from the new emails that we got last night. Ms. Peter changed the titles of Mr. Kearney's shows that were these 4-hour shows, Your Honor, that had.
So let's talk about that right now. So this was the bombshell that came out in court today. Everybody's talking about. I've been sitting on this for a while. So at the grand jury, all right, you guys can't read the grand jury testimony because it's private. You know, it's sealed, grand jury testimony. But we could talk about what's in the grand jury testimony. I just can't share the grand jury testimony itself, which shows you how stupid that fucking rule and law is. But whatever, I digress. You know, so at the grand jury, how it works is a prosecutor. There's no defense. There's no judge. It's just a prosecutor with 25 grand jurors, and they just need a majority to find probable cause. They don't have to find guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. It doesn't have to be all of them. So 13 out of the 25 have to say, yeah, there's probable cause a crime was committed here. And then you're indicted and the cops come to your house and arrest you and you got a whole load of shit on your plate now. And so it's really easy to indict people because of that, because there's no opposition. You just need a simple majority. The standard of probable cause isn't very high, right? It's a lot easier to indict than it is to convict. So at this grand jury, Ken Mello is running the show. And he's got to show the jurors all my YouTube presentations because everything I'm indicted for is on video on my YouTube channel. There isn't a single thing I did or said that is disputed. Every single thing is on video, right? The question is the context of the videos, right? And the titles. All right. So when they would say, okay, let's play exhibit B. They would say, like, Brian Tully was always on the stand at the grand jury. Lieutenant Tully, can you please show exhibit B to the jury? And then they would say episode 616, and they would say the name of the title, okay, to the jury. And I want to show you something, okay, because I've never shown you guys this before. We need to show you exactly what they showed the grand jury compared to what it actually said. Let's see this. All right. So we have a spreadsheet here, right? That shows the date of the grand jury, the title that they gave the video, and what the actual episode number is. And so on December 5th, okay, I forget which McAlberts testified at this one, right? Because there was like several days of grand jury testimony. On December 5th, okay, they show a video entitled McCabe Residence. Episode 594, they say. McCabe Residence. Actual title. Turtleboy returns to Canton, door knocking, grilling public officials, cops called on me. Episode 585, they title it Confronting McCabe's Outside Norfolk Superior. Okay, so it's like, oh, he's confronting them. So it sounds like I'm the aggressor there, right? Because he's confronting them. What's the actual title of episode 585? McCabe's want to kill me. Sean McCabe isn't happy. Karen Reed speaks out. That's the title of episode 585. So they present to the grand jury. They say, look it, he titles his videos, I'm confronting the McCabe's. But the actual title of the video is McCabe's want to kill me. Imagine how differently the jurors would perceive it if they're like, okay, Lieutenant Tully, can you please play the next exhibit? Yes, the next exhibit is episode 585. McCabe's want to kill me. Sean McCabe says he's going to kill me. The grand jurors would hear that and be like, so the McCabe's are the aggressors then. The McCabe's are the aggressor. Oh, so why is this guy? Why do you want us to indict this guy then? So they know that. So they changed the title. When they presented episode 585 to the grand jury, they presented it as Confronting McCabe's Outside Norfolk Superior Court. Episode 619, they title it Need to Go to McCabe's Soccer Game Again. They go, yes, now please play episode 619, Need to Go to McCabe's Soccer Game Again. Well, what's episode 619 really called? Karen Reed Case. Where is Michael Proctor? That's the actual title. Karen Reed Case. And this is what they're going to say. The title doesn't change the content. Do you understand the importance of a title? Do you understand the importance of a name of the book? People, that's all. When you, first of all, it matters for a couple of reasons. Okay. First of all, I titled them. They're presenting to the jury as if I gave them this name. And if I gave them this name, then that means that I looked at a 3-hour YouTube presentation and I said, this title is what I believe is the most representative of this 3-hour stream, right? Because that's usually what I do. When I title a stream, I kind of sum it up in the title. Right? It's representative of the whole 3 hours. So if you believe, if you're on the grand jury and you're hearing this and you're like, well, need to go to McCabe's soccer game again. So he's making a video. And like, what is his biggest takeaway from the video? Well, he's going to keep going to soccer games. He needs to go to children's sporting events. Well, this guy sounds dangerous. This guy sounds a little bit unhinged. He's going to kids' sporting events again. Need to go there again. So it's like, it makes it sound like this guy, like, so if you're on the grand jury, you don't know a goddamn thing about me. And you're like, so this guy's titling his YouTube presentations, Need to Go to Kids' Sporting Games Again. Psycho. That's what they're thinking. But no, the title is Karen Reed Case. Where is Michael Proctor? Episode 623, they say it's called Jennifer McCabe. No, the title is Breaking Down the Fraudulent Charging Documents on Turtleboy. Imagine they presented that to the grand jury. So I'm arrested October 11th, and then I do episode 623, where I break down the fraudulent charges. Imagine telling the grand jury that the charges against me are fraudulent. Because that's what I titled it. And then they can't tell that to the grand jury, though. They cannot tell the grand jury that's the title. Because that makes it seem like the charges are fraudulent. So they're not going to tell the jury that. Instead, they just title it 𝗳𝗏. That's what they claim that was titled. Episode 595. They tell the grand jury that it is titled Can Kick Colin Albert's Ass. Actual title. Kendra Lara Crash. Sean in the Gulf interview. Paul O'Keefe and Carl Dougal defend Canton murderers. Like, what? But what did they title it? Can Kick Colin Albert's Ass. Okay. How about this one? Episode 596. They call it Call to Colin Albert, as if it's a 3-hour stream of me calling Colin Albert. Actual title. Amiri King wants to fight Turtleboy. Canton updates. Auntie Bev out of control. Episode 616. They call it Trying to Destroy Colin's Life. Trying to destroy Colin's life. What's it actually called? Commonwealth tells more lies about John O'Keefe's GPS data. Could you pick two different titles that, like, again, they're presenting it to the grand jury as if I gave it that title, as if I titled a video Trying to Destroy Colin's Life. And you know what else they said to the grand jury? They go, when Brian Tully testifies, he says, oh, it's in the folder called intent. They had a whole folder called intent. Because intent is a major part of the witness intimidation statute. You have to intend to cause physical, emotional, or financial harm to the witness. And you have to intend to do so for the purpose of disrupting an ongoing court proceeding. So intent is a really important thing in the witness intimidation statute. And they had a whole folder called intent where they get to decide my intent. And what do they title this video? Trying to Destroy Colin's Life. And that would suggest that my intent is to destroy Colin Albert's life. That's what I'm intending to do. I'm intending to destroy his life so that he won't testify against Cameron Reed. Right? That is what they're making it seem like. But no, what's the actual title of the video? Commonwealth tells more lies about John O'Keefe's GPS data. Imagine they presented to the grand jury a video titled Commonwealth Lies, which is the first two words in the actual video. Or Commonwealth tells more lies. If you're on the grand jury, then you're like, wow. Oh, wow. This guy's really exposing corruption, huh? This guy's exposing Commonwealth lies. This guy actually sounds cool as shit. This guy sounds like a real investigative journalist. Why would I want to indict him? Right? He sounds like a good guy. But if you tell the jury that the video is entitled Trying to Destroy Colin's Life, that might change their opinion about what my intent is. The next one, they call it Colin Albert, episode 623, which is also up here. They play 623 twice and they give it two different names. Colin Albert, Jennifer McCabe. On December 14th, grand jury. One is titled Call to Julie Albert. Actual title. More Michael Proctor lies. Making calls. Because you don't want to make the grand jury think that Michael Proctor's a liar, so you can't tell him that's the title. How about this one? Episode 598. Life as Normal is Over. That's it. That's the title. That they claim that's the title. That's what they tell the grand jury the title of the video, the stream is. Actual title. Cameron Reed defense files motion to recuse Judge Cannoni and oppose gag order. Sounds a little different than Life as Normal is Over. Episode 618. No right to live peacefully. I sound like a fucking psycho if you're just saying that. I'm titling these videos, No Right to Live Peacefully. What? The actual title. Detective Buchanan intimidates witnesses. Chris Albert seeks protection order. They certainly cannot present to the grand jury a video titled Detective Buchanan Intimidates Witnesses. That's not going to go over well with the jury when you're trying to convince them that Detective Buchanan is a victim of witness intimidation. If the video is entitled, like, what? And what do they say the title is? No Right to Live Peacefully. Next one. Alberts Should Be Afraid. That's the name of the fucking title. They title it Alberts Should Be Afraid. Because what do you think of afraid? Afraid is fear, right? Well, that you're causing emotional fear of physical harm. Boom. That's his intent, right? Again, it's in a folder titled intent. So if my intent is to cause you fear, right, then I'm hurting you. Am I not? Like that I'm certainly, that's definitely probable cause. That's definitely probable cause. No wonder I was indicted. Actual title. Karen Reed's parents go on Boston 25 News and bombshell information. That's the actual title. Episode 580. They call it Call to Elizabeth Proctor. Actual title. Dumbest Wife Ever. Brian Albert, Opposition to Motion. Okay. Episode, this is December 19th grand jury. Not My Last Trip to Canton, they call it. Actual title. Turtleboy returns to Canton. Door knocking, grilling public officials. Cops called on me. How about this one? Episode 615. They call it Living Like Rats. Actual video title. Attorney Bob Motta discusses Friday's hearing, confrontation in Canton. And what do they call it? So I have Bob Motta on as a guest, and I interview him, and we talk about this case. It's the first time I had Bob on my show. And they title it Living Like Rats. I'm making the McAlberts live like rats. I'm so proud of it too. Like, it makes it seem like I'm proud of it. How about they also play episode 615 and present it to the grand jury, and this time they tell them that the show is titled Not Leaving the Second Generation Out of It. Like, I'm harassing all of them. I'm intimidating all of them. First generation, second generation, they can all get harassed. Actual title, Attorney Bob Motta discusses Friday's hearing. How about this one? Episode 602, they claim, is titled Enjoying Watching Witnesses Squirm. Like, that's sick, right? It's like, oh, that makes me sound sick. They're like, oh, he's evil. He loves watching the witnesses squirm and struggle. He's so bad. Actual title. 𝗵𝗵𝗧𝘂𝗍, Jill Daniels, Carl Dougal, Taillight Mystery, Liz Proctor. Okay, that seems a little bit different. 𝗵𝗵𝗧𝘂. Maybe they just didn't want to. Maybe if they said the word 𝗵𝗵𝗧𝘂 in front of a grand jury, they might think, wait a minute, 𝗵𝗵𝗧𝘂? What is this guy? Some sort of comedian? He makes jokes? 𝗵𝗵𝗧𝘂. They might laugh at that, but like, that's a funny word. 𝗵𝗵𝗧𝘂. This guy's my cup. This guy's funny as shit. Oh man. But no, they don't. So they change it to enjoying watching witnesses squirm. Then how about episode 604, which is also in the intent folder, entitled, I do not want this to go to trial. If my intent is to stop the trial, then they can argue that, well, he's doing this to stop justice from happening. He's obstructing a court proceeding. And so actual title, Colin Albert drops out of school. Brian Higgins flipping. Is the end near? Yeah, anyway. Encourage protests, episode 624. Actual title, After David shows bathroom video was probable cause to take journalists' phones. Okay. How about this? Rolling rally. Don't feel bad for O'Keefe's. Actual title, Canton. Justice for Karen Reed and John O'Keefe rolling rally. So, oh wait, this guy, they can't tell the jury that I want justice for John O'Keefe, right? And Karen Reed. They don't want to make it seem like I'm fighting for justice. So we'll call it Don't Feel Bad for the O'Keefes. That's what they title the video. So the question is, who renamed the videos? Because they're presenting the videos to the jury as if I titled them, as if I gave them these names, which biases the jury. Clearly that biases the jury. If you didn't know anything about me, that might bias you. So somebody did that. Was it Tully? Was it Mello? Or was it 𝗪𝗏𝗏? This is why we need an evidentiary hearing. Okay? That's it. And if we had the videos that 𝗪𝗏𝗏 sent in that link, which was deleted, we would see what they were titled when she sent them. It would prove everything. But it's been deleted. It's gone.
Titles. Like, for example, Karen Reed case, where's Michael Proctor? Amiri King wants to fight Turtleboy, Canton updates, 𝗵𝗵𝗲𝗺𝗀 Kearney out of control. So it's a title that encapsulates a 4-hour show. That was his work. Ms. Peter changed those titles, provided it to the Commonwealth, told Lieutenant Tully in the emails that we have about changing the title. So they knew. And then they put those titles in as exhibits. We found this out, of course, after the McCarthy-Odell motion. And these titles are different. These titles are very incriminatory, and they suggest they impact Mr. Kearney's alleged intent to intimidate witnesses. The titles were all changed, and I can proffer up a spreadsheet of the actual titles and then what she changed them to in these attachments that, oh, gee, now we can't open them. So do the math on that. Let me approach on it.
Sure. Thank you.
And so we have now learned that we have a grand jury that was listening to these video clips with titles like, I'm going to kick Colin Albert's ass. And that's just me paraphrasing, but nasty titles. Trying to destroy Colin's life. The actual title is Commonwealth tells more lies about John O'Keefe's GPS data. That's his real title. And these were suggested to be Mr. Kearney's expressions, which of course would be used as his bad intent. And they're false and they're lies.
It's like Auntie Bev might have grave concerns over this. Like, think of how much she lost her mind over some emails with 𝗪𝗏𝗏. And now he's looking at evidence like, bro, here's what what he's being shown right now, the spreadsheet that I just showed you guys. And he's seeing that they have renamed these videos.
And they were done, and we know this from the emails, from this Catherine Peter person.
Yeah, so what does this have to do with?
So these are attachments that we can't open. There's an example of attachments that are exculpatory and incriminatory to the Commonwealth that we can't even open. So
these YouTube, so on the side of the document where it has the link, your allegation is that you can't open up any of these.
No, I'm sorry. That's if you wanted to see for yourself. But the other two columns are what Ms. Peter made those titles.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Again, the regular.
Yeah, no, she changed it.
Yeah, and that was used.
Document she changed it.
That was published to the grand jury as Mr. Kearney's work, and it was even argued in Mr. Cosgrove's one of his recent filings. He argued that about how these things are so aptly titled is what he wrote. You may remember that. And this is all false evidence.
Okay.
So
this is looking for us to do with it though.
I'm looking to ask to take you up on your offer to have a hearing on an evidentiary hearing where we bring these people in and we get to the bottom of how Ms. Peter's work for the Commonwealth went. And that also impacts, and see, this is all interrelated, Judge. We want Attorney Mello on the stand for this too, because he's the one that presented this false evidence to the grand jury.
I'll take a look at whatever you file, but I think we're kind of getting off track a little bit in terms of what the Commonwealth owes you. That's what I'm concerned.
Okay, I hear what you're saying on that issue, but we did file a motion to disqualify Mello, who's been, not able allegedly to be here, but
we filed a motion to disqualify Mello in September of 2024 with Judge Katie Rayburn. And she set up an evidentiary hearing scheduled for January 10th, 2025, which was canceled because he did the whole Plevin thing. I'm dying, except he's not dying because he later appeared at my hearing on April 30th, in which they tried to revoke my bail. Whenever there's a motion to revoke my bail, Mello magically gets better and attends the hearing. Magically. Until then, he's dying. He's always fucking dying. When we need him to take the stand and testify about his involvement in this, he's got nothing to say. So why is Mello still on this case? Judge Doolin has never met Mello. He's never seen him. So why is he on this case? Why is he not recusing himself? Because Cosgrove is insistent that he's not going to recuse himself, that he's going to stay on this case. Why? Why does he want to be on this case so bad? If he's so sick and dying, he's already gotten paid. What's he doing?
Zoom, whenever there's a hearing when Mr. Kearney's bail might get revoked, he's right on the Zoom watching. But, you know, that's another thing we'd like to do today is ask the court to schedule an evidentiary hearing.
I'm gonna write a motion.
No, we did, Judge, I filed two.
For an evidentiary hearing? Is there a new one?
Yes, on motion to disqualify. We have two pending. In fact, Judge 𝗿𝗵𝗻, I believe it was, set the hearing, and he alleged that he was sick and couldn't come, and it's been in abeyance forever. So we have, Judge. I don't want to, you know, bury the court.
𝗏𝗏𝗄𝗏 tried not letting me come up for this. He's like, I don't want him to come up, and Doolin's like, nah, he's coming up. Because I have a right to go up to my sidebars because I want to know what to talk about. Now, I can't discuss what we talked about here, but you could probably imagine based on what we were just discussing there. Okay? And we got to get to the bottom of the Mello thing.
That's how everything's interrelated. And with respect to the disqualification issue, this is another issue where Mello's involved in this, what we would contend is a conspiracy to put false evidence in front of the grand jury that we figured out.
Yes.
And it was used and argued it was a misrepresentation of Mr. Kearney's intent. Because when you would put a title like that on something.
So this is what I'm trying to get you back to.
All right, go ahead.
What do you need? What else do you say that Mr. 𝗏𝗏𝗺 has as the special prosecutor?
Like, he doesn't seem that concerned. I don't know if he gets it. Like, I don't know if he gets why this is such a big deal to lie to the grand jury about what the title of the video is. Like, it's the shock value of it all. They're trying to shock the jury and be like, this is the title. Ooh, that's the title. People judge a book by its cover. It's the first thing they see. The title, when I write stories and articles, the most important part of the article is the title. It comes up with search engine optimization. Like, it's the first thing it picks up is the title. The title is the most important part of any publication. It's really important.
That he hasn't turned over to you. We went through that list of items. I just want to get you back on track.
Sure, okay. So there's a November 1st email that we can't get the links off of that, and that's important if I could just have one.
Yeah.
That's the exact email with the links to this, fake links to this that we can't open. And it's not a thing like, it's not a thing where, oh, let's go back to the office and fix it. It literally says, Google Docs, it says, sorry, the file you have requested does not exist. So it's gone.
Okay.
So why did this person make it go away? And I think we know why, but that's why I want to answer to that hearing too. But so we want the government to, in writing, tell us what links they have and what links, where do they go?
The fuck was that? Oh, what was that?
And I think we know why, but that's why I want to answer to that hearing too.
Who's that?
But so we want the government to, in writing, tell us what links they have and what links, where do they go? We want them to respond in writing to why there's lost evidence.
Okay, let me just talk to Mr.
They have what we have, and they can figure out where they went to the same extent that the Commonwealth can. The Commonwealth has not deleted any links.
All right, I'll take that under advisement.
The Commonwealth? So who deleted them?
It says just literally the files have been deleted.
Okay.
It doesn't say they've been deleted by the Commonwealth.
So would the court
who
consider
deleted them?
ordering the Commonwealth to, we'll tell them what links we can't open, and they need to give some sort of an explanation why they do this.
Why don't you give us a list of the links that can't be opened?
All of them.
And send it to Mr. 𝗏𝗏𝗺.
None of them work.
Mr.
None of
𝗏𝗏𝗺, just
them.
ask perhaps if you give us an explanation as to why they can't be opened.
Sure, I will give you an explanation. I will consult with our experts,
Yeah.
but I can almost guarantee, Your Honor, that the explanation is going to be that whoever is at the other end of the link removes the content.
That very well might be it, but I think it would, if it was in writing, it would probably be better.
Yeah, I'm happy to-
Removed content, also known as destroyed evidence. Destroyed evidence. But go ahead.
Do that, Your Honor.
That's right. What else, Mr. Gray? What else?
So, Judge, we talked about the 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗃 redacted extraction, excuse me. So can I get a copy of that? We don't have it. We've been looking for it for 9 months. Can you order
What
it?
is it, the redacted?
The redacted extraction
Okay.
of a phone.
But you had the document at one point in time.
We had it. Judge Krupp ordered us to destroy it and give it back, which we did.
Yeah.
And just 9 months ago, we never got it back.
The redaction back. Okay. Mr. 𝗏𝗏𝗺.
I object.
Okay. Tell me why.
He objects to giving us.
Well, there's a long history on this, Your Honor, and I went into it in one of my memoranda at length. In the original course, the Commonwealth and the defense entered into an agreement that they would return the original extraction, and
We're
that we
talking
would
about the
provide them
Lindsay
with
Gattani
a
phone.
redacted version limited to those
Yep.
things
Yep.
that we felt they were entitled to under Rule 14. I asked Lieutenant Tully to prepare that. He did that. I sent Mr. 𝗵𝗏𝗺 a notice. I don't recall when, but the date is in my memorandum saying it's available at the office. Come over, pick it up, or let us know how you want to get it. And I believe I also indicated that there was some additional material on the thumb drive with that extraction. Mr. 𝗵𝗏𝗺 never picked it up. In the meantime, came back to court for various reasons that are I believe still presently impounded, although I believe Mr. Kearney referred to them on one of his YouTube shows. For various reasons, Mr. 𝗵𝗿𝗄 indicated that he needed to keep the original thumb drive. Those reasons were unrelated to any issues in this case, but I was persuaded that he should be able to do that, at least temporarily. We struck an agreement with respect to the use of that thumb drive, and there was a subsequent reduction of that, or a modification of that, to writing at Mr. 𝗵𝗿𝗄's request that was endorsed by the court. And then in the Commonwealth view, which the defense, I believe, still disputes, Mr. Kearney immediately went out and violated those restrictions. So I then filed a motion in front of Judge 𝗵𝗏 requesting an order that the thumb drive be returned. Now, at that point, Your Honor, the defense had the full unredacted thumb drive in its possession, custody, and control for some 9 months. Mr. Kearney had publicly stated on his YouTube presentations that he had provided the contents, a duplicate of the contents of that thumb drive, to any number of other people.
Yeah.
But the physical thumb drive was ordered returned by Judge 𝗵𝗏, and it was returned.
Okay.
In the meantime, the defendant had been.
So again, he admits they had the phone extraction for 9 months. He distributed it to other people. Then it was ordered to be brought back. We did. And now what? So now he's supposed to give us a redacted copy of that phone extraction so that we can start filing some motions that will. So as of right now, we're just supposed to pretend we didn't see any of that. That's like the official policy. We can't reference it. We can't include any of it in motions. Anything from her phone that we could use this time last year, we can't use now, because that makes fucking sense. We're just supposed to erase it from our brains like it never happened. Oh shit, I didn't see all that really exculpatory information showing that Turtleboy was set up for a crime by Brian Tully, Ken Mello, K. Peter, and Lindsay Gattani. Or I forgot about all that. Like, and he's supposed to give us a redacted version, which won't have pictures of her giving birth, I guess, but will have all of that really important information, except we haven't gotten it. So where is it? Now he doesn't want to give us the redacted version. Why?
What I would consider to be various irrelevant material, irrelevant to the case, designed to embarrass and humiliate Ms. Gattani. There was a reference, for example, to her DoorDash orders. There was
so I've referenced her DoorDash orders before. And I think I mentioned them. I think I said that she scams people with them, that she scams DoorDash, that she has DoorDash emails showing that she scams them. That matters. That's germane, because she's a scammer. If you lie about that, if you're scamming this thing, then you're a liar. You can't be trusted. It affects your credibility. That matters, right? So this is what I mean by, like, we believe a lot of the stuff in there matters, that we're supposed to unsee that.
The defendant picking out a phone number more or less at random and said, well, here's a number that she apparently calls a lot. Let's see who this is, and calling out the number live and dialing it live on his YouTube show. There was a reference to her ex-husband's daughters, if I have it correctly, and what they thought of Ms. Gattani and so forth.
Ex-husband's daughters and what they thought of Ms. Gattani. Oh, right. Well, first of all, she's never been married. She's talking about Frank Keegan's kids, who are her age, because she banged her. She went to school with some chicks in Dedham, and she banged their fentanyl dealer daddy. And one of her, Frank Keegan's kids, is a Boston cop, female Boston cop. And there are messages that I've referenced before between her and them, and those messages share a lot of exculpatory information. So I've talked about them before. And he's like, this is what I mean by, like, what they consider to be just irrelevant, we consider to be very relevant. And they're like, well, and they use that as a basis with 𝗵𝗏. Say he's talking about irrelevant things. Make him give the phone back. And Judge 𝗵𝗏 did it.
So on. Judge 𝗵𝗏 allowed that motion at a provision that I agreed to, but I think was initially suggested by Mr. 𝗵𝗿𝗄.
I agreed
to. The defense was allowed 2 weeks before they turned the thumb drive over, or approximately that amount, to take notes on anything they thought was relevant on the thumb drive, and then it was returned. As far as I'm concerned, they had it. They had an opportunity to examine it.
We did.
I assume they did examine it.
Yes.
If they have time to go into the kind of trivia and side roads that Mr. Kearney went on to. I don't think at this point that the Commonwealth has an obligation jump through further hoops and reprovide them with a different.
We don't have to reprovide. The problem is yes, we did take notes on all that stuff. We did review the entire phone, and then we were told to delete it all and destroy it. So we don't have it anymore. We cannot reference it. We can't put it in motions. We can't use it as evidence to exonerate me. We can't put it in a motion to dismiss. We can't do anything with it. So it doesn't matter that we saw it a year ago. Remember, we just washed our brains of it. We just forget everything you saw. Forget everything you saw.
All right, I'll take that under advisement.
May I be heard on that, sir?
I think you already were, but I'll give you 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah, Judge, there's no violation. If there was a violation by my client, I say bring it on. There's never been an allegation of a violation. If there was a violation, you know this Commonwealth would have done something about it. There was never a violation. They agreed to give it back. We don't have it. We were allowed to take note of it, but we were ordered by Judge Krupp to destroy it and not have any of it until we got the redacted one back.
Let me ask you this. Did you have it for 9 months?
Yes.
Thereabouts?
Yes.
Did you have a chance to look at it?
Yes, we looked at it, but we were told to destroy it. We don't have any evidence from it. It's destroyed. We were told, ordered by Judge Krupp to destroy it. We need another copy of it. We need the extracted copy of it.
You need the redacted copy.
Right, we're happy to take the redacted copy.
That's
of course.
all right, under advisement. What else you got, Mr. Bradley?
Under advisement, yeah. Again, these judges don't like ruling from the bench. That just seems like a no-brainer. Like, oh, you said you were going to give him a redacted copy of the phone? Okay, so go give it to him. That's it. Problem solved. Done. Go. Next. Is this silent? Oh.
You said one moment, please.
Yeah, no, take your time.
The government here is trying to keep private. I think it's completely...
Are these impounded or under a protective order?
Judge, I would say that I don't think it matters, Judge.
I think legally it does, doesn't it?
Well, it's a similar examination, Judge, okay? It's a protective order. Things are impounded by either a judicial order keeping judicial documents private, or you could say, and I think the parlance is that if something is under a protective order, it's impounded from view from people.
Right.
So I think it's just sort of a parlance issue. I think, frankly, the government was splitting hairs when they were trying to say
So
that.
you have all the documents, right? Everything that's under a protective order, you have as the county's lawyer.
Judge, we have the documents that are under protective order, because as I alluded to last time, we're sort of under the gun of having to agree to get them, and we need these documents. So at the time, but this is a serious deprivation of the public's right to know, Judge.
Right,
the
public, yes.
And, these are
we made sure to say that. I'm not the victim of this. You're the victim. You have a right to read all of this shit in my possession. Why am I the only one that had an email from Cosgrove to Mariano asking for $1 million? How is that not your business? You are taxpayers. You have a right to know what your police are doing. You have a right to know about this. You have a right to know this, period.
Documents that are kept private for no good reason, whether it's, you want to call it an impoundment or a protective order. There's no legal basis for it, Your Honor. As I said last time, things that show government malfeasance.
What's the basis for a protective order, though? We were discussing that today. Do you have any?
He asks us, what's the basis for a protective order? I don't know. Ask them. They're the ones that want it. I don't know what the fuck the basis of the protective order is. That's the whole point, is we don't want it. I don't understand if they get this. We don't want a protective order. There shouldn't be a protective order.
Case law that you could point to on exactly what it is that the government, the hoops that they have to jump through to get a protective order?
Judge, I filed 8 pages on it last time.
Yeah, but give me some of the cases that you think are the most important. I'll go to Mr. Cosgrove, because the burden is on the Commonwealth. I agree with that. But these protective orders are already in place. So I understand you have the constitutional argument that
we're trying to get them taken
you and Mr.
away.
Bettero have profit about the public's right to know. I get that part. But just in terms of a practical.
Thank you.
Yeah.
1 second, please, Your Honor.
Yeah. No, take your time.
They're presumptively public documents. There's a common law right of access to judicial records. So that's sort of that's where we start, is that these records need to be in the public's view. And so the burden is on the government to say why. And then to carry through, just going to allude to what I said last time, is that when there's corruption or malfeasance, embarrassment, that's not a reason to hide documents from the public. That's a reason to show the documents to the public of the government's missteps. And in this case, there's been a lot of them. And that's really what the government is saying, like, oh, we can't have Mr. Proctor's emails because there's a safety issue. There's always a safety issue. See, the children are a safety issue. There's no safety issue. There's no children involved. It's just embarrassment. He's well on record.
They'd always hide behind the children. Oh, we need a protective order. The fake victim loves doing that. My children are going to be harmed if you don't do this. Oh, no, my children are going to be harmed. The McCabe's do the same thing. McAlbert's, oh, my children's soccer game, blah, blah, blah. If he points, if these messages come out, all of our, because they send a lot of messages to the victim witness advocate, but they're not saying like their messages are basically all constantly saying, arrest Turtleboy again, arrest him again. And why aren't you arresting him? It's just constant. They're constantly trying to have me arrested and thrown in jail, and they don't want the world to see that. Why can't the world see that, what they've been doing? Why can't the world see what Kerry Roberts and Jen McCabe were doing during the grand jury of Karen Reed? Because we have those too. Why can't we see that the Commonwealth refers to Jennifer McCabe not as Miss McCabe or Jennifer McCabe, but as Detective McCabe? Why can't the Commonwealth see that? That's what Steve Nelson calls her. Why can't they see that? Because don't you think that affects their perception of who Jen McCabe is? She's not a potential witness or a suspect. She's a detective. She's solving this case for us, right? I mean, imagine they call her that in text messages. I mean, and you have a fucking right to see this. You have a right to see this. This is your government. These are your police. And they are catering to these people and they're calling them, assigning them detectives, calling them that. And how can you trust the police after this? You have a right to see this shit. It's outrageous. And they're hiding it. If they have nothing to hide, then why are they hiding shit? Oh, because the children are going to be hurt.
To show all sorts of horrible things that he said in his text or emails or whatever. So the idea that we're going to hide any more of it is ridiculous. And the other issue, Judge, is that of the ones that we get, there's never the full story. There's like one screenshot of someone's text, and then there's no responses. There's no, there's just a one little thing that they hope we're going to look at and be satisfied with. There's never any context to this stuff. So that's another discovery aspect.
Let me just give the floor to Mr. 𝗺𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗏 then about the protective orders. I agree with your filings, Mr. 𝗺𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗏, that these are protective orders as opposed to impounded. So I'll start with that.
All right, Your Honor. And let me just say, as I previously indicated, the release of certain public records is new to me. If Mr. 𝗵𝗏 wants to go through the public records that were released and compare them with the material that is presently under protective order and identify any of those particular things, I'm happy to assent to their release from the protective order, because obviously if they're out there, they're out there, and the protective order isn't really serving any purpose as to those particular materials. Now, with that said, in terms of cases, Your Honor, I would direct Your Honor's attention to the case law in particular cited on page 2 and 3 of my brief that talks about the validity of discovery orders in terms of discovery protective orders as opposed to things that are actually documents filed with the court. I think that's the pertinent case law to direct you to.
Okay.
I would also, Your Honor, like to direct you, if I could, to a YouTube presentation. Which is essentially a commentary on the opposition I filed. Mr. Kearney did about an hour and 10 minutes of his own commentary on my filing. It's in YouTube episode 795, entitled, and I'll leave it to the defense to correct me if I get the title wrong, 𝗺𝗏 gets frisky, what happened on the Cape.
Look at him.
Twitter.
He smiles. 𝗺𝗏 gets frisky. So he's citing my first show back from vacation, and he's now entering it into evidence as reasons why this stuff shouldn't be unimpounded. So he's arguing for the protective order here. And so what's your reason? Why should we have a protective order? Oh, episode 795, 𝗺𝗏 gets frisky. That's the reason why. Well, what does he talk about in 𝗺𝗏 gets frisky?
And if you start at about 141 at that presentation, and if you can stand it, Your Honor, follow through to about 350, you'll hear Mr. Kearney's explanation as to what he wants these matters released for. I would characterize his comments somewhat tendentiously as saying, apart from some quibbles about whether I got the titles of his YouTube shows correctly, Mr. Kearney's response is, everything 𝗺𝗏 says I want to do with these documents is exactly what I want to do, and so what?
What?
Okay. Well, Judge, if you look at my filings, there's about 35 cases in there that talk about all this stuff dead on point. And there's no Turtleboy exception to the First Amendment, okay? Everybody out there has got this stuff, and Mr. Kearney is not allowed to look at it or use it. It's ridiculous. Every journalist on Twitter is citing this stuff, and he's got to sit here. The guy that broke half of the stuff in the Karen Reed case, he's got to sit here and not touch it and not do anything. It's ridiculous. It's totally abhorrent. And
so these 400 things that were released on the FOIA request.
4,000.
4,000? 4,000. Oh. Do you have a copy of those?
Everybody's got a copy of those.
Yeah.
I don't have a copy, but I assume I could get it.
Everybody's got a copy.
Perhaps, I know it's voluminous, but...
we can give you a link, Judge. It's easy. It's nothing.
Okay.
Like a link.
Yeah, that's right. If you could just maybe write it out.
No problem.
All right. Do we have anything else?
We do, Judge.
What else we got?
A lot here today.
I just would like to make one more submission
Yeah, go right
with
ahead.
respect to the issue that we're on. One of the points that I made, Your Honor, in my memorandum is that there's a cycle here, which is that Mr. Kearney continues to post things about the witnesses in his case and the Karen Reed case on a regular basis. That provokes typically the witnesses to complain to the district attorney's office.
Wait, what?
That generates statements which need to be turned over in discovery. And the Karen Reed case, my memorandum is that there's...
So this is his argument against or in favor of a protective order. Listen to this.
There's a cycle here, which is that Mr. Kearney continues to post things about the witnesses in his case and the Karen Reed case on a regular basis.
Yeah.
That provokes typically the witnesses to complain to the district attorney's office.
Okay.
That generates statements which need to be turned over in discovery. And
so this stuff should be protected. So basically he's saying he shouldn't be allowed to talk about the witnesses because he talks about the witnesses. I talk about Jennifer McCabe, and then Jennifer McCabe calls up and complains about Turtleboy. And then we have to provide a copy of her complaining them to Turtleboy. Here's an idea. Just sit with me for a minute on this one, Cosgrove. Here's a thought. Maybe the next time Jennifer McCabe calls you and complains about, he's talking about me on one of his YouTube presentations, you simply say to her, fuck off. I mean, you could do that. That is an option. And you say, yeah, that's how the First Amendment works. He has a right to talk about you. He's going to continue to talk about you. So you better get used to it. Like, that is an option. Instead, they think they have to fucking bow to these people. Like, oh no, Jennifer McCabe is complaining. We need to do something about it. It's insane. It is insane how they bow to this woman. And Jennifer McCabe is also furious, apparently, that I got an order on 𝗪𝗏𝗏. She's really mad about that I got an order on 𝗪𝗏𝗏 because she couldn't get an order on me. She complains about this as if that's something the Norfolk DA's office controls. By the way, I got an order on 𝗪𝗏𝗏 in Leominster, which is in Worcester County. So a judge in Worcester County gave me an order on 𝗪𝗏𝗏 because, she threatened me with physical violence, which is a true threat, which is covered under O'Brien versus 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏, which is grounds for a 258E. Okay? Whereas with Jennifer McCabe, I've never threatened to physically hurt her. Therefore, there's no true threats. Therefore, there's no 258E. It's a really simple thing. These are not smart people we're dealing with here. It's insane.
I made the point that turning over much of this material, I don't know what public interest there is, for example, in an email where someone says she received an anonymous threatening phone call, which she attributes to a Kearney post, whether rightly or wrongly.
I don't know what is the public necessity over Jennifer McCabe saying that she got a phone call that she attributes to me, right? Well, I could think of one because I didn't call, right? So if we establish that there is a pattern here of these people blaming everything on me, right? And wasting the government's time with this shit. It's like, that is a matter of public concern. Because you pay taxes to the government that's treating these people like they're Fabergé eggs. That's your tax dollars. You don't have to pay for that. You don't have to pay for that. You should know that this is what your tax dollars is going to. Is Jennifer McCabe constantly calling the DA's office and demanding satisfaction constantly?
Other than I just don't know what the public interest is in that kind of thing. The public does not have an interest in going through everybody's cell phone, underwear drawer, et cetera, et cetera.
The public does not have an interest in going through everyone's cell phones. Who the fuck is the government to say what the public has an interest in? Since when do they get to make that decision for us? No, we have an interest in whatever the fuck we're interested in. If you guys say you're interested in those messages, then you have a right to see them. That is in the public interest. I find it interesting. Are you kidding me? Do you understand how many people live for this shit? You're absolutely right. There's a public interest. And even if there's not, okay, so let's suppose it's boring. Let's suppose the stuff is really boring and no one cares about it. So the public doesn't have, so it's not interesting. So we don't share. We only share the really interesting stuff. What Robert Cosgrove determines to be interesting, that's what you're entitled to watch.
So just to drive home the point that Mr. Kearney is continuing on an almost daily basis to publish tendentious commentary about these people. I want to call to your Honor's attention something that came to my attention this morning that he posted 24 hours ago.
Yeah, this is good.
Yep, let me take a look at it.
And so this is, again, this is part of his motion or his objection to ending the protective order. Exhibit B. And he hands him a copy, a printed out copy, I shit you not, of Ratchet Madness. He's like, we need a protective order. Why? Ratchet Madness, Your Honor. Ratchet Madness.
Thank you.
And look at
a few of his usual targets, but most of them are there.
Ratchet Madness.
I'm not suggesting that this is a violation. I'm not suggesting that it's criminally actionable.
He is looking right now at Ratchet Madness. He's like, what am I looking at? So people vote for who is the bigger Ratchet. And then he turns to the 3 versus 14 matchup, and Cosgrove's in it. So Cosgrove says, I need a protective order because he's mocking me. So the public shouldn't read any of these public documents because of Ratchet Madness. And by the way, at the end of court, Cosgrove comes over to us and makes a little joke. And he goes, so I've urged everyone I know to vote for me. Oh, it's so funny. So he thinks it's funny. He sees the humor in Ratchet Madness, but he's acting like it's dangerous. Ratchet Madness is dangerous. It's putting the witnesses in jeopardy. Like, I cannot believe we're doing this. This is supposed to be a serious courtroom. And we have a judge up here right now reading Ratchet Madness. Ratchet Madness. This is what we're doing right now. Ratchet Madness has entered the official public record. Ratchet Madness.
I am suggesting that it would help Your Honor conceptualize the use that he's going to make to any of this material that's under protective order.
Oh, so he's going to mock the witnesses. So he's like, I see what he's saying. So all the messages from Jennifer McCabe and Kerry Roberts and stuff, he's going to mock them with it. You can't mock Jennifer McCabe. You can't do it. You're not allowed to. You're not, because mocking them is the equivalent of intimidation. Why? Because it causes emotional harm. And Massachusetts has a statute that says anyone who causes emotional harm to a witness is a bad person and must go to jail.
Okay. I looked at it. I get the point.
All right, that's all I have, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Brito, what else you got?
I can just watching you peruse Mr. Kearney's publications, okay? Thomas Paine, Samuel Adams, Mark Twain would be spinning their grapes if they saw that a judge was looking at First Amendment protected satire, jokes, criticism, as if there's some risk that
this
stuff should be sanctionable. It's just completely antithetical to the First Amendment, Your Honor.
Okay, I don't want Mark Twain to feel poorly about me.
Really.
So,
it's just ridiculous. That the government, proffers that as some sort of evidence of something is just completely beyond the pale, okay? This is all First Amendment protected.
I get your point. So you've made it very well.
So there's a few more things, Judge, about this, impounding these.
The impoundment I get. So I get your arguments on that.
One little
Do you have
fact,
any other discovery issues?
Yes.
What else
I'll
you got?
give you one quick fact.
Yeah.
These people that the government is trying to protect with these impoundment orders that they need, or protective orders, they're doing interviews. The McCabe,
Yes.
the Alberts, Proctor, they've all done nationwide interviews. And yet the government wants.
That's really important because Jennifer McCabe and all them have gone on TV and said, we are victims, right? We are being intimidated in this case. We are being harassed, and it's all Turtleboy's fault. So what is that doing to the potential jury pool? They're going on TV and they're tainting the jury pool because they're telling them we're the victims and Turtleboy's the bad guy, right? Turtleboy bad. Well, if we have text messages that show the opposite, that show that actually these people are just abusing the system and they're not actually victims at all, and they're just trying to get Turtleboy jammed up on charges that aren't really actual charges, right? Then they have a right to see that, right? But they can't. So I can't even defend myself. That's the problem here. Is like they can go on TV and spread lies, and I'm sitting on this information that debunks what they're doing on TV, and I can't share it. I can't share it. No, they've given up that chance. They've gone going on TV and giving all these interviews. They have given up that rights. They're not trying to be private people anymore.
Say, oh, we need to protect them from safety because of keep their stuff private. They're doing interviews. So that ship has sailed, Your Honor. All of their stuff needs to be unimpounded
I hope so.
for our use, for our ability to use it without these constraints, and for the public's right to know, Judge. It just needs to be out there. There's no reason to keep it.
No, I get your point. All right. Is there any other pieces of discovery that,
Yeah, Judge,
that you want to argue about? Because I have, I've got some other things we have to do, some other cases. We have 2 other cases left. Mr. Brado, I don't want to rush you, but
Just going back to the Mello issue, Judge. So Prosecutor Mello was the one that was working with Ms. Peter on these phony clips. And we need his emails too on this stuff. And I hope you're not going to say, oh, okay, file a Rule 17. Because I did that with respect to 𝗺¿cies emails. And I was told by Judge Krupp, and I think it's the law of the case now, that no, that's a Rule 14 issue because it's in the possession of the prosecuting authority. So it should be Rule 14 discovery that Mello is communicating with 𝗪𝗙, and it's been undisputed and it's been revealed in this case 100% that Mello has been talking on the phone with the other complainant here, 𝗪𝗏𝗀, and we have only incomplete screenshots and inconsistent screenshots with respect to what's on the phones.
And that's another thing that we bring up right at the end. Oh, yeah. So there's just so much shit to go over. In 𝗫𝗏𝗀's phone, we have messages between 𝗪𝗙 and 𝗫𝗏𝗀, okay, in which they are literally plotting to put me in jail for fake witness intimidation charges, right? From December 9th to December 20, whatever, when I'm arrested, okay? So we have all their messages, and they're messaging back and forth, and they're plotting. And then on December 14th, the messages from 𝗪𝗙 just stop. And 𝗫𝗏𝗀 sends a message, and then she sends, there's no response. Then she sends another message, no response, and another message, no response, and another. It's like hundreds of messages from the fake victim and no responses from Krusty Panties. It looks like she's talking to herself, right? And so we're like, yeah, something's missing here. But maybe she is just talking to herself, right? That the government might argue that. You have no proof that Krusty Panties responds, except Krusty Panties herself on a YouTube presentation that we have saved and downloaded and archived, right? Shows screenshots of those messages that include her response, which means we hired a Celebrate expert who's written an affidavit for us saying that the only way that can happen is if somebody takes the Celebrate download and manually checks off stuff that won't appear. And the only person who did that is either Brian Tully or Nicholas Guarino. One of them did that. Those are the 2 people who touched 𝗫𝗏𝗀's cell phone extraction. This is why we need an evidentiary hearing, because we know that those messages were deleted. We just don't know by who, right? But it's interesting. It is interesting that they're talking back and forth about plotting against me, and the messages with 𝗪𝗙 disappear the moment the topic of the conversation becomes Brian Tully. She asks 𝗪𝗙, what did the McAlberts think about my meeting with Tully? And then the responses disappear. They're just gone. We don't get to see what Krusty says. They're just gone. It's so weird how once Brian Tully becomes the topic of conversation between the 2 of them, the messages disappear. And wouldn't you know it, Tully's the one that handled the extraction. So I feel like that's something, gee whiz, if the police detectives in charge of my investigation are literally going through a phone extraction and deleting stuff that incriminates them, that might be a problem. That might be that might be corruption, as they call it.
Versus what really happened. And we need a written explanation from the government as to why there's inconsistencies in the discovery. I'll tell you what that is in a second. But also, we need the full text report. We have these cherry-picked little texts. And like I said before, it's obvious that it was a string, and we get like 1 email with no responses or no prior context. And it's like they're hoping we just go away if they give us 1 thing. But it's not, the context isn't there, the full email strings aren't there. And we've made this complaint many times and it doesn't go anywhere. So I'd ask that you order the Commonwealth to either give us the stuff or respond in writing why they can't find it, don't know what I'm talking about, or whatever their position's going to be.
These are the Mello emails you're talking about?
So we want Mello emails because he's talking directly to 𝗪𝗏𝗀 and Peter,
Yeah.
and we have a couple snippets of them, but it's clear there's other ones from the context that we don't have.
All right, I get you.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Mr. 𝗪𝗏𝗺.
Well, I believe I turned over the Mello emails in the last round of discovery, and that generated a chiding letter from Mr. Betterow saying that you've had these for a couple of months now. We should have got them sooner. So I'm not, so far as I know, they have the Mello emails.
Okay. That being said, I think we should pick another date.
So, Judge, just the last thing on that.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. That's fine.
For example, Judge, there's a very important group text between Morrissey, Proctor, Tully, and others.
Here we go.
And we have like one email from it that points up an extremely provocative issue relative to Proctor saying, why don't we just arrest him?
Why don't we just arrest him?
And there's no other discovery on it. There's a perfect example of cherry picking. Why we need answers on this stuff. We need more. And there's also
Why don't we just arrest him? That's how they treated me on September 3rd. Again, remember the timeline. We've seen from we're piecing this all together now. In July of 2023, who does Michael Morrissey contact to try to have me charged with witness intimidation? The Attorney General's office. What do they tell him? It's not witness intimidation. So they turn him down. So he's like, fuck, why did he go to them? Because he doesn't want the appearance of being biased, right? He's like, well, I can't charge him. It's going to look like we're going after him because he's accusing us of covering up the 𝗵𝗵𝗃 murder. So that's a bad look. So maybe the Attorney General will do it for us. The Attorney General tells him, unless Turtleboy is a neo-Nazi, that's really the only thing we're interested in. So fuck off. We're not interested in that. We're more into race stuff over here, right? We don't have no interest in your white people versus white people issues. We're not interested in that shit. Okay. So Andrew Campbell tells him to fuck off. And so he's like, and then Michael Proctor says, why don't we just arrest him? Because Michael Proctor's big mad. Because remember, I wrote articles saying that I was going to teach Michael Proctor's kids how to throw a spiral football. And if you're Michael Proctor, that might make you mad, right? Michael Proctor, big mad. He's so mad. Turtleboy say he going to teach my kids. He's going to adopt my kids when I go to jail. Oh. And he might get mad about that and say, why aren't we arresting him? Except they have the badge and the guns. So like, is that an appropriate? Why aren't you arresting? Probably because I haven't committed a crime. And then a month later, I'm arrested. How about that? Funny how that works out. But again, you don't get to see that.
Also, Judge, there's inconsistencies in what we were given, where there'll be, and here's my last thing. Well, there's a list of text messages from discovery that we've been given. And then online, Ms. Peter, it's related to this Ms. Peter again, she publishes a string of text. It's the same string. And there's more emails from text. There's more text in her string that's published online than in the discovery we got. So it's kind of a smoking gun that something was taken out of the discovery we got out of an extraction. And sure enough, we check with Celebrate, the extractor has that ability to unclick a box to deprive the recipient of something, and the recipient has no idea. So there's a smoking gun here, Judge. That's why this isn't a normal case. I don't think you've ever heard me talking this deep about getting discovery. And here we are because of real reasons, Your Honor. And I hope that the court can give us this relief.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Why don't we pick a date or anything further?
So, Judge, in the meantime, would the court order production of some of those written responses? And
yeah, I'll issue an order on the written responses.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, what written responses?
I think he's asked you to give written responses as to, for instance, the links and things like that. What can be open, what can't.
Oh, yes. Well, I just indicate that Your Honor indicated that Mr. 𝗵𝗏𝗧 was going to provide me with a list that I would respond to. So I would just hope your order would take that into account.
Fair enough, Mr. Glasgow. Fair enough.
And Judge, just for the
We don't
suggestion,
want a list.
we should tell him what links we can't open. We can't open a single link.
None of
There
them.
you go. Compliance.
All of them.
All right. Give me a take-up word for the both of you. Except if,
I was going to say the first one with the privacy. Yeah. Big dollar. Like, that's what he means. It's so ridiculous. He's not around.
Hot Mike.
He would cite that as some sort of problem. She can.
Oops. Hot Mike.
Can't be calling.
Anyway, so there's that. So anyway, let me read some turtle chats. Let's let the grifting begin. Let's do it. Hold on. I'll be right back. Let me throw a video on here real quick. What quick we watch for a video that doesn't have any sort of something. Do I get any videos here? Here, I saw old crusty rants. I don't even know what this one is.
Yeah, you're gonna look up my name. I get it. Okay, but I know how much comes up on my name, and that bothers me to a certain extent, just because my daughter and I were talking about all this. Because I'll be straightforward with everybody here. When I first got this information, I went to my children who are 12 and 15. They're not little kids or whatever. And I said, I have some really incriminating information on Aidan. They obviously know who he is at this point. What should I do with it? And my son said, well, if it's going to hurt his family, I wouldn't do it because you're going to look petty and hypocritical. And, you know, it hurt us a lot. And I don't want to do that to anyone else. And I said, okay, my daughter, who has been much more affected because Aidan has really focused on her and she's 15 years old, said, fucking bury him. All right. And, you know,
Ship off the old block.
She did, though. Yeah. And one thing that she said to me today when we were discussing this is she goes, you know, if I look up Kate Peters' daughter, the first thing that comes up is all this nasty shit about me. And she's 15 years old. She's 15 years old. I would say, and I'm not trying to extort anyone here. I would say that an easy way to quell my rage and all this would be if maybe, no, never mind. It doesn't matter either way. There was one point when I really wanted everything about my daughter taken down, but the damage has been done at this point. It would be an empty victory if anything about my daughter was taken down. I can't imagine.
I don't even know what the fuck she said. Okay. Anyway, I don't even know. So she's talking about, that's her video when she's talking about, she got sent revenge pornography of me by Leah Janduso. Some spanking it on in the living room pictures, some videos, and she's discussing there, showing it to her 12 and 15-year-old kids. And she literally tells them, like, you guys, what should I here's a video of Turtleboy stroking it. What should I do with this? And for some reason the daughter's like, fucking burn him. Oh, that sounds like a well-adjusted child. And that's a normal conversation for a mother to have with her children. Hey kids, what should I do with this video of another man masturbating? Oh yeah, share it. Oh yeah. Okay. That's normal. That's perfectly normal. That's great parenting right there. I'm really surprised the other two were taken by the state, which is also a normal thing to happen to good regular parents is, you know, you have 4 kids and then the government takes 2 of them from you forever. And then they call someone else mom. That's normal. Okay. Anyway, let's read some turtle chats here, shall we? As soon as I find it. Okay. Got a bunch here, so I gotta go back. Okay, here we go. August 13th. All right. Tallahassee Turtle Club sends $5 and goes, if voting on Ratchets from a work flight in first class drinking free champagne is wrong, I don't want to be right. You light up my life like a human carton of Newport Lights. Well, thank you very much, Tallahassee Turtle Club president. LP sends $50 and goes, I'm a former IT exec looking to do a proof of concept with AI in the legal field. These data dumps are exactly what's needed to build some cool stuff. If you're interested in this type of volunteer work, please hit me up. I don't know what any of that means, but thank you for the $50. Be Better sends $5 and goes, your ignorance is on full display in regards to Enrique. LTL has done several shows on it. Who said LT? I didn't mention BLT. Why are you bringing up BLT? I love BLT, including other attendees to the Academy. He has done several shows on it, including other attendees to the Academy. So he interviewed other cadets. Well, then I stand corrected. If I miss, he actually had cadets go on camera on his show and talk about what they witnessed with Enrique. Is that true? Because that's crazy. I want to see that. That's wild. Is that true? I got to see that. Is that real? Because that's what I said on my show the other night. I'm like, with the Enrique thing, which maybe, oh, you got so mad, you got out of line. You're not allowed to fucking disagree. Oh no. So that's what this person who sent me $5 is saying, is that he had cadets on his show that said that Enrique was beaten up. Well, it's great. So we're one step closer to justice then. I stand corrected. You should check it out before ranting on something you appear not to know anything about. Well, Be Better, since you sent me that $5, why don't you send me a link to that? I'd love to watch that video. So please send me the video in which BLT interviews cadets from the State Police Academy who are willing to talk about what they witnessed there, because that's a huge lead. I'm all for that. So thank you very much. I stand corrected. Okay, next up, Claire sends $25 and goes, "Hi, doctor. I will be tuning in on the replay crew later, but I just wanted to tell you, let's fucking go. Free Turtleboy." Thank you, Claire Brown. Love you. Mama Deb sends $6 and goes, "I'm from the United Kingdom and watched U.S. courts for 3 years, trying to understand, but your case is fixing fake charges and jail time for helping free an innocent lady. My first ever donation." That about sums it up, Mama Deb. That about sums it up. And thank you for the £6 there. I appreciate it. Closet Baby sends $5 and goes, "I'm actually sad to not hear Michael Giannetti in the opening. I voted for Jill Daniels and Twisted." Me too. What the fuck, everyone? I know. I'm so disappointed in you people. I voted for Plevin. Everyone I voted for lost. Ugh. Anyway. Next. Bukaki's Thong Sandal sends $10, goes, "Stay strong, Crowd Daddy. You will win this war." Well, thank you, Bukaki's Thong Sandals. That's what I'm going to do. Sir Marks a lot sends $5 and goes, "Doctor, agree with your comments today on Howie about Rebecca Roush. She is a communist. Look into Representative Jeff Roy, her counterpart in the House. He is 10 times worse than Becca. Together, they want to turn Massachusetts into a communist state." Again, I brought that up with Howie because Judge Corrupt has given a lot of money to Rebecca Roush, a state senator from Norfolk County, who I routinely call a communist pig. That's what I refer to her as, because she was queen of the lockdowns and shutting down schools. Like, she sucked. I fucking hated people like that because they affected my kids. They're fucking evil. And God, they can burn in hell. God, do I fucking hate them. You think I want bad things to happen to Brian Tully? I'm not going to tell you what I want to happen to Rebecca Roush. Much worse. Oh my God. And I can say that about her because she's not a witness. So she's special. She's not special. I apologize. But Judge Corrupt has given a lot of money. His family's given a lot of money to Rebecca Roush. So inconveniently, he doesn't seem to like me very much. That's so weird how that works out. Next. Lori sends $100. Thanks, Lori. And says, "We were there today to support you. It was great to see you, Lori. Lawyers from Fall River in the lawyer box." Oh, that was you I met. Okay, cool. "I think Doolin gets it, but he's way too deferential to Cosgrove. Enough is enough." Yes, very cool. And it was nice to meet you today. And for sure, yeah, he seemed like he's just giving. He's a nice guy, Judge Doolin. He seems nice. But maybe in this case, we need somebody who's just like going to start laying the hammer down and say enough is enough with this shit, and your time has passed. It's expired. But can you ever imagine Judge Doolin sentencing me to jail? Okay, can anyone picture that? Even if I was convicted on all these fucking charges, can you imagine him being like, "Yeah, we need to put you in jail for a long time, Turtleboy"? Like, I just can't imagine that. I can't. It's just too much. He knows it. Like, dude, I'm never going to jail. And Doolin's going to stay on my case. I think he's there for the whole thing. Because that's another problem is like we have all these ring around the rosy with judges. We've had so many judges, and it's another thing about Massachusetts. It's like, just stick with one judge. I mean, Auntie Bev stuck with it. All right, next. Taylor Kelsey sends $100 and goes, "Life of a Showgirl will be the best album ever. Taylor and Travis forever." Ugh. Two horrible people. Thank you very much. Melissa sends $50 and goes, "Despite the absolute absurdity of today's shit show, the fuckery is finally starting to reveal itself. It's all coming out. You've been so strong through it all, and you will have your freedom. And oh, you were looking fly in that suit, Daddy." Well, thank you. I appreciate that. My stylist said that, it's the last chance you can wear that. That's a summer suit you had there. This is your last chance to wear it. And so she's like, "You got to go with the white shirt and that light blue tie." I don't even like, I'm like a kid, like my mommy dressing me. My stylist is like my mommy. She just sends me a message and it's like, "Here's what you're going to wear to court today." And I just throw it on. It's really easy. It makes my life a lot easier. Right. She buys my clothes. Well, she doesn't. I pay for it, but she buys them and it just comes to my house. I don't have to go shopping. I don't have to try shit on. It's the same sizes. Everything fits perfectly. And I'd be looking fresh with them feds watching. So there we go. Thank you. All right. Next. Emily sends $5 and goes, off topic, but when are we getting that story about 𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗃 getting catfished again by a fake Brennan? Oh, that reminds me. I got to message the guys doing it. Thank you very much. Forgot about 𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗃. Natalie sends $50 and goes, court made my blood boil today. The fuckery is outrageous. I can't wait until all the dirty laundry is aired. Praying for you. Much love. Well, thank you so much, Natalie. I really appreciate that. And it's all coming out, baby. Lynn sends $5, goes, hey, Turtle, for some reason, your judge looks like he's on cocaine today, or maybe he just doesn't want to be there. Cosgrove sounds like he can't breathe. Free Turtleboy, love you. I guess so. I don't know. Julie sends $25 and goes, for free speech. Also in mourning regarding poor Irish face. Reverse Uno, the Coco vote. Well, she lost by a lot. She was up against 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗃. She had no shot. Bradford sends $25 and goes, did you hear Melanie Little say that she wanted to join your team when you were on the phone with her earlier? She offered to help in the background and research the docs and Discovery Dump. Would you ever add her on board? Yeah, she wanted, like, I can do it. Like, didn't that happen in Better Call Saul where he asks, like, put $1 in my pocket? That's what Melanie did today. She's like, give me $1. Like, and then I can send her court documents, right? I could do that. Right. I mean, we'll see. I got to talk to Better about that first. See what he says. All right. Next. She was kidding, but not really kidding. I mean, she wasn't really. I mean, I don't think she was kidding. She would definitely do that. Okay. Next up. Douglas sends $25 and goes, KP tweeted from her Wayfair couch that she didn't change your YouTube titles. In reality, the only thing she hasn't changed is her crusty panties. My wife and I 100% support you from Brockport, Maine. Doug and Sharon, Free Turtleboy. Well, I'll tell you one thing. This sounds like an admission right here. I don't know about you. This sounds like an admission to me. I think what they are referring to is the file names for the clips of live streams saved to my computer with short descriptions, so I can find the appropriate clips for whatever I'm doing. Because, of course, you have this all just at your disposal. Of course you do. Imagine that's your life. I like to organize my Turtleboy files. If I go shoot up a CVS and videotape it, and I title it My Trip to CVS on YouTube, and during my grand jury for murder, the prosecutor introduced it as suspect enters CVS, it changes literally nothing. Timothy, it's not even remotely close. Yeah, that's like the same thing, except no one died. There was no shooting. What? And it's all about intent. Again, my case is all about intent. But this is interesting, but because she seems to be admitting here that she changed the titles, didn't she? This seems to be an admission. She's such a fucking moron. So she makes it too easy for us. This is why we need an evidentiary hearing. She's literally admitting it, right? Like that sounds like she's admitting it right there. Awesome. Let's get her on the stand. Say it under oath. Because I know in her mind that makes sense, but a judge is going to hear that and be like, so you changed the titles? And then you presented it to the grand jury as if he entitled them that? I know to you that seems normal, but this isn't the Twitter court of law. This is a real court of law. Kelly Hunt sends $10 and puts a whole centigraph. Again, there is absolutely no way I'm reading this whole thing. Okay? I appreciate it. She says she's from New Zealand, and if she ever comes here, we're getting a meal of food together. Dear Journalism Jesus, I've decided to commit a monthly tithe to you from my spending money. I'm autistic, and one of my traits is that I can be very focused and encompassed by trials or cases, and I've generally enjoyed watching and learning from you. In the years from the KR case, I admire your honesty and unwavering dedication and truth. So I really appreciate that, Kelly Hunt. I really appreciate that. I can't read the whole thing because we'll be here all night. I love you. Thank you very much for the $10. Next up. Patricia sends $5, goes, did you notice the judge seems to be in a rush all the time and cuts Bradel off, even though Bradel is very concise and making very important arguments? It did bother me a little bit. I just hate being rushed at all. Like, come on, we got stuff to do. Well, I'm facing 105 years in jail, so they can wait, whatever it is. So thank you. Next up. People in Court sends $10 and goes, can't believe no local media showed up. Where is Sue? Supposedly has your back, O'Connell. Where was Rex Daniels? How is this not the lead story on primetime local news? What are those channels covering tonight? Please tell me what's more pressing and more relevant than this. I'll wait. I don't know how you're saying right now. Exactly. Like that. This should be. Mass Live was there. Charlie from Mass Live was there. He's a good guy. He seemed interested in this, and all the independent content creators from YouTube were there and covering this, because that's the real news now, is independent content creators. But you're right. I mean, Sue O'Connell and Ted Daniels, in fairness, don't make those decisions. They Ted used to come. Boston 25 News used to be at my hearings. They don't go anymore. It's just like, just lost interest in this. I mean, this is when it's starting to get interesting. This is when all this shit's coming out, and they're just not there. There was a pool gamer there from NBC. It's like, are they going to talk about this or not? I don't know. It seems relevant. It's only the First Amendment. It's on, trying to put a journalist behind the biggest story in the world in jail for covering the case. But, we don't need to, the public doesn't need to hear about this. Jim sends $50, goes, I'm sick of the corruption and the BS. They target you because you expose them all. Thank you for doing what no one else will. My pleasure, Jim. Mom Lamb sends $10 and goes, Aidan, stay strong. It's so disgusting that the Commonwealth is doing to you. We will always have your back. Well, thank you, Mom Lamb. Traveling Trooper Elaine sends $5, goes, after today's hearing, Aidan, I am so pissed. How long is the Commonwealth going to do this? Never give up, because you have a huge following behind you who love you and respect you. We will not fail you. Thank you for all you do. Exactly. That's why I'm never going to give up. It's like, I don't care if no media is there or whatever. See this crowd behind me? They got my back. Period. Thank you. Next. Terry Dorius sends $10 and goes, well, we now have a new agent, Crust Peter. Can the Commonwealth refund me? Bless you, Turtleboy. Okay. Nick sends $10, goes, the judge scares me. He comes across as super friendly, but almost in a stab you in the back type of way. I'm not sure about him. I want to like him, but I don't know. We'll see. He dismissed 6 of the charges against me, but he did not dismiss 10 of them. But then again, I mean, that's the thing about it, is like dismissing 16 indictments would be a very bold move. There are no bold judges in the state. Like, he knows this is wrong, which is why he dismissed 6 of them. But he's like, we'll let the other 10 stay, We'll see. Kathy sends $25 and goes, for your legal fund. The corruption in Norfolk County has been going on forever. You're very brave, and I appreciate you. Well, thank you very much, Kathy. Asserin Fish sends $20 and goes, listen, Turtle, I hope you enjoyed my Higgins impression as you left court today. It was too accurate. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Did 𝗚𝗏 ask you a question after he spoke to Bradel before your hearing today? No, he didn't ask me anything. I noticed he was wearing a purple shirt. He was. So my headcanon is that he asked to join Sex Cult, and you turned him down. Now he can join. I don't know if he can stay up that late, but yeah. Next. Fair Trade sends $10, goes, we will give you McDonough if you give us Pomerol. That judge understands it. I know. I wish Pomerol could do everything. Pomerol's great. The fact that Cosgrove was a judge speaks volumes. He was a gatekeeper for freedom for the accused. Yeah, and I went over the Michael Schoner stuff, or Shane, or whatever I pronounce his name, that old thing, letting that guy walk free for 4 years. He was involved in murdering an innocent man, torturing him in Canton, and he let him walk free, but Turtleboy's bad. Donna sends $25 and goes, if you're going to be a judge, you need to understand metadata and have some knowledge of how the internet works. I feel like the judge and the special prosecutor don't understand what's actually going on. Exactly. Oh, Nan Gallagher. My girl Nan's here. Tossing in a $500 in the G string. Thanks, Nan. And Nan says, a little something for your defense fund. I've never seen such a delay of justice in my 25 years of practice. Keep up the stellar journalism, activism, and satire. Well, thank you very much, Dan. It's because of people like you that I can afford to keep doing this. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. Next. Joel's Oedipus Complex sends $25 and goes, hear me out. I was hoping Bradel was going to take some time, take the same approach that 𝗬𝗎 and Tipton did yesterday, demanding the late discovery or motion to dismiss. We are. Shouldn't have to thank the Commonwealth for crumbs. It is your right to have the material, no matter how the Commonwealth views the importance should be a full stop. Time to stop being nice. It's the circus. Bettero is more direct. Loved him, but he was entertaining the nonsense today. So, yeah, we're not putting up with it anymore. And that is believe me, that you're on the right track. That's coming next. Not about Bradle or anything like that, but you are on, like, he's had enough and we're not putting up with this anymore. So there's that. Christine, Life After Stroke, sends $10 and goes, question, links that don't open. Was it on YouTube? Wait, we don't know. It just doesn't open up. She probably didn't delete. It's some Google video. She didn't delete. A video could be put on private. No, it's not on that. I see what you're saying, but it's not like that. Next, Paige sends $10, goes, finish them. Love you and Jimmy. Don't we all? Thank you very much, Paige. Corey sends $5, goes, when Cosgrove says public interest, he has something entirely different in mind than you imagine. It's the kind of wordplay that creatures like him use to manipulate the legal system. Exactly. You know, what's interesting, you don't get to decide what's of public interest, Kazi. Proctor's missing search warrants sends $5, goes, just for Cosgrove's comment about Ratchet Madness in court. I hope that frisky little bugger loses. I know he's so frisky. Cosgrove gets frisky. Some more here. Nick sends $10 and goes, please provide us the links. Wayback Machine, amongst other tools, has the potential to uncover many things about the links, including authors, IPs, potential, even files, etc. Okay. Diane sends $25 and goes, a cool quarter from you, chat rats, at Rat House Media, free Turtleboy. Thank you, Diane. Some guy with cancer sends $5, goes, Michael Morrissey is a dumber, fatter, and more insane version of Dr. Evil. Proctor is becoming his mini-me. P.S. I'll be in court for the Aaron Spencer case to keep everyone updated. All right. Thank you, sir. Lori sends $10, goes, Turtleboy, why is there a different judge every time you appear in court? Seems like starting over every time. There used to be. We've had dueling several times in a row, though. So, okay. Next up. Lori sends, let's see. Lucifer sends $10 and goes, Team Angry Deaver for Ratchet Madness 2025. Excellent. Renee sends $50 and goes, Dr. Crowd Daddy, I'm joining late, but I wanted to say that you, Karen, and everyone else integral to both of your cases are an inspiration on standing up to tyranny. The ending of this corrupt saga will be epic, and I'm here for it. Free the turtle. Well, thank you very much for that, Renee. Joy sends $10, goes, Turtleboy, I want to know how you feel about everyone, like Melanie, Glare, Mike, etc. You all support each other's channels. Exactly. Yes, we do. But Emily D. Baker does not allow anyone supporting anyone else's channel. Well, she copies all of your content, just asking, praying for your defense. She shares my content. I didn't even know I've never seen Emily Baker do a stream about me. I wish she would. She's got a huge audience. But, you know, she's not really one of us. You know, she's not part of our tribe. She does her own thing. So, but she was right about Karen Reed. So that she's got a lot of influence, that woman. So I'm glad she's on our side. Deleted Google Doc sends $25 and goes, print this. Card. Just say card. Jess Harris sends $10 and goes, Jess Harris is one of the, you're in the discovery dump, Jess. She was one of the people who was harassed by Bukkake over rubber duckies. And she sends $10 and goes, long time no talk. My mom, Helen, loves our mutual lawyer, Tim Bradle, quack. Yeah. Her and her mother, Helen, were both, Bukkake filed criminal complaints for witness intimidation against both of them because they dropped those teeny weeny rubber duckies outside of D&E Pizza. So thank you, Jess Harris. Jay sends $10, goes, you guys fucked up my bracket. Learn what ratchet means. Exactly. I'm saying, like, twisted tragedies, bro. Vicky sends $10 because Joel Waldman is a weenie. Okay. Christine sends $10, goes, Turtleboy, how do you feel that people rip off your content? Nobody rips off my content. Wait, who rips off? Melanie, the Glarer, Richie, Nurse Kim, etc. all give you credit. Yes, they do. Emily D. Baker will not allow. What is going on here? Am I being botted? Will not allow anyone to mention other channels in her chat. I no longer support her. She's not a team player. Here's to your defense. I don't, bro. First of all, I have a hard time imagining that. Like, her chat is fucking crazy. It's like a never ending stream of shit. She would have no way to even keep up with that. So I find that hard to believe that, like, and I've seen people talk about me in her chat before. So I don't think that's true. And she doesn't use my content, but I wish she did. That would be great. I mean, that would be, she's got almost 1 million subs, right? So that would be like doing me a favor. If she, I'm not one of these people that is like, no, you can't use my content. I want people to use my content. I want them to talk about it. I don't want them to just play it as their own. I want them to talk about it because that's free advertising. Why wouldn't I want that? Like that would be I wish Emily D. Baker would, use my content. To my understanding, she doesn't really talk about me. I wish she would. That would be cool. That'd be very cool. All right, next up. I mean, that's just how whatever works. I mean, right? I'm getting botted, right? Okay. Mary sends $25 and goes, hey, love calling you daddy. Michelle Littlefield did not even try to keep her job because she didn't like what she was seeing. You have a lot of people who have your back with love. And if you have a chance for an interview, that would be awesome. Well, I think that, I think that she, at the same time, she would have liked to keep her job. What happened to her was wrong. Andrea Alexander sends $10, goes, not only are the mass taxpayers interested, but the entire country is interested. Massachusetts' awful system is now costing federal taxpayer dollars. Wake up. I'm with you, Andrea. Let me read some cash apps here. All right. Nicole sends $5 and goes, where's my daddy calendar, Mr. Media? Oh, yeah, I got to get on that. I got to put it on my list. Thank you, Nicole. You need your daddy calendar. I know that. Casey sends $5 and goes, Turtle Rider pre-sale code for the Wilbur. They didn't give me any code, so I'm not sure. Thank you. Therese sends $5 and goes, you are looking like Kevin Costner outside. Frisky. Ooh, thank you very much, Therese. Cindy sends $5 and goes, can we know a little about Jen McCabe's texts? I can't do it. I don't want to get in trouble. Beverly sends $10 and goes, for your fight with monsters. Oh, no, it says $100. That's a big difference. There's extra zero there. For your fight with monsters. Well, thank you. We're going to fight those monsters, Beverly. Thank you. Jen sends $20 and goes, the First Amendment, my favorite amendment, number one. Definitely number one in my book. Ralph sends $25 and goes, pay-per-view the Wilbur for us out-of-state folks. Yeah, I need to set that up. Thank you, Ralph. Erin sends $9 and says, hi, Daddy. I love the show. Do you think you could somehow do a pay-per-view stream of the Wilbur? I'm in Florida and would love to watch it. Yes, I definitely need to do that, Erin. Thank you. Stephanie sends $20 and goes, expose the corruption. Thank you, Stephanie. Katie sends $20 and goes, card. Good looking court today, Aidan. XO. Thank you very much from Katie. I appreciate that. Let me just refresh the turtle chats one more time. I don't want to miss anyone. And then we're done. No more turtle chats. Okay, we're good. All right. Awesome, guys. Good little hump day here. And we will see you guys all for Sex Cult tomorrow night, 9:30. And I love all you fine people. And make sure you smash that subscribe button. And 10 o'clock tomorrow, I think the tickets go on sale at the Wilbur. All right. Peace to you, bum crease turtle riders.
It calls for